Great house, great setup.
Thank you.
Really, you didn't spare much expense. It's like you got everything solid.
Things have changed so much in life. Are you rolling, Holston? That it's interesting because you're an example of how much the world has changed. When I started getting into gambling, the very first time I ever got into gambling, and it was like an old man's sport.
Sure.
I would go down to the Bahamas, and my buddy's dad would take us, and we'd play craps. Mm-hmm. And maybe blackjack. That was it. You weren't allowed to play roulette. That was a dummies game. And you weren't allowed to play slots.
Unless you were an old lady. Then you could play slots.
Yeah.
Like usually the wife of the gambler played slots.
Yeah. They called them, what did he call them? Like dummy machines.
Yeah.
And then as I grew up, I remember I moved to LA. I went to Vegas for the first time and was like, oh, Vegas is a great city. I love Vegas. I love everything it offers. But then like the World Series of Poker showed up. And now, today, I find gambling so fucking fascinating. I can listen to a podcast on gambling. I've since taken in so much of your content. You're someone that really exploded on the scene because of your personal story and kind of working. I wouldn't even say working the system, but working the system, like being better than the system, which I still get kind of outraged by, that the system cannot pay if you win and they just don't like the way you won.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy for me.
It's like, they always say the system's rigged. Whatever the system is, not even in gambling, just in life.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like gambling in casinos, you get to see the people get to come the closest to the system out of all the systems. So they get to see the corruption at the front lines. It's like, imagine like citizens versus the government. They go, the government's the system. It's a rigged system, the tax system, blah, 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 the police system, whatever. But you're so distant that a lot of it's like, almost like an illusion. Like, can you possibly connect these dots and say, yeah, it's a rigged system? When it comes to the casino and the customer, they're like front lines and you get to witness the same thing, but directly.
Yeah. It's fascinating to me because, the first time I ever heard of gambling being rigged was Rain Man.
Okay.
And they were like, he's counting cards. I still don't. I make jokes about it. Like, I'm so callous. I'm such a bad gambler too. But like, I'm so callous to it that I really don't even know the different system. I just learned about edge, but it's not edging.
Edge sorting.
Edging is when you hold off an orgasm. Yeah. I learned about that too, though.
Yeah. I have a weird theory on that that apply to my life, but
edging or edge sorting?
Edging. I went to juvie when I was 15.
Okay, let's start. I know there's a dude driving a forklift right now who goes, wait, I have seen this guy on TikTok. Wait, who the fuck is this guy? Wait, what's his story? Let me tell you my story. I looked at you the first time I saw you, and I said, he grew up in Miami, Florida. He was a Jewish kid who was quicker and faster than all the other Jewish kids in his temple. And he fucking worked them on dice, worked them on I thought Miami, Florida. I definitely thought Miami, fucking Florida. Mm-hmm. How close am I?
Real close.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Dude. Wait, where'd you grow up?
All right, so I was born in New Jersey and grew up in like New York, but I lived in Miami for 8 years, and that's where I moved here from. So my whole like come up is all Miami.
You got Miami all over you.
Yeah.
And you got Jewish too. Are you Jewish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mikki, short for Mikhail.
Mikhail. Oh, you're real Jewish.
Yeah, my mom's in Israel right now fighting in the war. My dad just got back. I tried. Yeah. I lived in Israel, like 13 years ago or something.
I know you're not supposed to talk in stereotype.
Go ahead.
But here's what I love about a stereotypical Jewish man. Like, there's a lot of Jewish men I follow online that are watch brokers in Times Square.
Yeah.
I'm fucking obsessed with these guys.
Yeah.
But when they get into their like Jewish shit, where they're like, come on, no, fuck you. Come on, big guy. No, I get so fucking wild. I follow these guys. I just followed a guy fly to Hong Kong to sell a Rolex.
I seen it. The kid. Yeah. He's always wearing like the fuzzy bucket hat.
Yeah, the fuzzy bucket hat.
Yeah. He had like,
who is he?
I forget his name, but I know his story.
Is my thing hooked up?
His story came on my feed. Something about he was being accused of having a fake chrome hearts. Moses?
I think so.
It could be. It's like fake Chrome Hearts Rolex or something, and he was arguing it's not fake, and people were saying it is fake because Chrome Hearts didn't make the band with the face, the bezel or something.
It's got to be Moses.
Oh, he's a kid. Yeah.
There needs to be a fucking thing on Instagram where I just go, yo, I'm married. Stop. I don't need to see. I just want to see pictures. Moses the jeweler. This guy.
with the bucket hat. Yeah,
Yeah.
this kid, yeah.
I fucking love this kid.
Yeah.
He's got 368,000. He's just good. Like, and this is the watch. He flew to Asia to sell this watch.
No, so that, I think
Goodbye, Shanghai. Stay tuned for did he get in
that
trouble?
might be the fake one or the alleged fake one. And he's like, this one is the one that you guys are saying is fake. Here's the one I came here to sell. I seen the clip.
Yeah, but see, this kid, by the way, I apologize. He's definitely Jewish. He has a Jewish star around the neck.
Yeah, he's Jewish.
Yeah, but
his name is Moses.
His name's Moses. Well, I got a buddy named Jesus who isn't that Jewish. But I love, there's something, I think if you grew up around Jewish people, you have an affinity for the Jewish culture. The religions, I find the religion and the culture to be meshed, but different.
Mm-hmm.
There's bar mitzvah energy.
Sure.
Like that, man, I wanted to be Jewish so bad when I was a kid.
I think Hollywood did a really good job. Not that it's controlled by the Jews or anything, but they did a really good job of like displaying modern Judaism in a fun way, which in a lot of like most Jewish like suburban towns it is. Like every Adam Sandler movie, the family's a Jewish family. Yeah. And they always have a bar bat mitzvah. And it's this huge party and it's a lot of fun. And it always looks enticing as a kid. You're always like, I want to be at that party. Like I want to be Jewish. I want to have Jewish friends.
Yeah. It's the fucking money. Yeah. Man, when I was a kid, I was in 5th grade. I was maybe 4th grade. And David Germain came over and he said him and David Fabricant and Nell Rudolph and Deborah Crystal. I'm naming all the Jewish kids. I mean, I went to a predominantly Jewish grade school.
Where are you from?
Tampa. I'm from Florida.
I think Central Florida is the best, by the way.
Central Florida is interesting. I find Florida to be a fascinating state.
Absolutely.
It's one of my favorite states in the world.
Agreed.
Miami is so fucking sexy.
Yeah, but
South Florida is so sexy.
It's sexy, but this is a big confusion, especially people in LA have, right? Everybody has a problem with themselves, like how they feel or something about themselves. So they always want to justify and blame something else. So they're like, oh, I'm going to move because it's LA that's the problem, not me. Even though they take them wherever they go.
Yes.
So they look at Miami and they go, oh, I went there for 3 days or 5 days and I had a blast. Mm-hmm. The thing is, Miami's actually really small. Like South Beach is like a 1/4 mile long. It's one road, technically 2 because they're both one way. But it's like when you go for 3 to 5 days, it is a blast. It's built for tourism. It's built to have fun.
Yeah.
But when you stay for 7 days, you've now realized you spent the last 2 days doing the same thing you already did. There's only so many clubs and so many bars, So people have, I think, get misconstrued about this concept of like, I want to leave LA and go to Miami. What they're doing is they're leaving a big city and going to a small city.
Very small city.
Yeah.
Very small city with real familial roots. Like Miami is, in my opinion, is a family city. It's built for families. Not the families you're thinking, but when you look at like the old Cuban families that have cigar factories down there, all the Cuban restaurants down there, I have a big affinity for cultures that aren't mine. I know that's crazy. I guess when you're white, you kind of got to do that. You're like, mine's the best. but I have a real affinity for growing up in Florida, for Cuban culture, for Puerto Rican culture, for Black culture, for like hip hop, everything Jewish culture. Like I said, I was growing up. David Germain came in and Nell Rudolph was like, God, that was a fun time at ... It's bar mitzvah. Yeah. I remember going like, wait, you guys partied this weekend? Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, we saw each other at Temple. Well, then we all hung out at Temple, and then we had a dinner that night. We all went, and then the next night was a bar mitzvah, and then we did the big bar mitzvah, and we pulled out like $25,000, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. And I remember going like, "Mom, we fucked up. Like, we should have just killed the dude and fucking rolled with them." But I know it's the Romans that did it, but
under contract,
and then moving to New York, you get a totally different subset of Jewish culture. The Orthodox, acrylic, not acrylic.
Acidic, yeah.
Acidic. Yeah. Jesus Christ, Bert. The fuck am I saying?
Yeah, the acrylic Jews, they're hardcore.
I find different cultures to be really fascinating, but the Jewish culture is just so fucking rich. It's, the thing about Miami is I think like Andrew Schultz moved, Andrew Schultz is?
Yeah, of course.
The comedian? Okay.
Yeah, of course.
He moved down to Miami during the pandemic, and I was so jealous because I said, you don't know how much fun I would be having down there, because it's more than just the club scene and it's going out deep sea fishing and fucking flats fishing and going down to Key West, Key Largo, and
you
really
can go if you go an hour north or an hour west, you're in a whole different world.
Yeah. And it's so cool. Central Florida for me is fascinating because there is a touch of old school, I call it like Sheriff Porky's energy, of like old white culture, of the guys who hunt and fish, and they got a ranch in Ocala or Odessa, and they still hog hunt. Yeah. And there's that. Northern Florida is even more fascinating when you go to like Live Oak and Jacksonville.
In Gainesville.
Gainesville, Tallahassee, Pensacola, St. Augustine.
So it's so weird. So I feel the same way. So I love North Florida because I love dirty South. I love chopped and screwed. I love the gold grills. I love the perms. Yeah. Like I love that dirty South. I love the draw. I love donks, right? Yeah. That's North Florida. The problem is outside of that, you really don't have anything in North Florida. So if you're not into that, you're sort of missing the mark. Unless you want to go in the swamps and catch a gator or something. Yeah. But Central Florida, bro, in an hour and a half, you can go from one ocean, right? You could be in the beach in the morning.
Yes.
Do anything you want in Orlando.
And by the way, unrecognizable beaches. To anyone listening right now, you can drive your cars on these beaches. And this sounds crazy in the majority of this world. You can drive your cars on these beaches. These are beaches that are a quarter of a mile from where you'd walk onto the beach to getting to the water. And then, by the way, when you get in the water, you are waist high another 200 yards out. It doesn't get deep drastically. It's fucking amazing beaches with surf breaks. Yeah, like it is, I love fucking Florida. Keep going.
No, exactly that, right? So that's just on what you can do in the morning. Then before lunch, you can go all the way through Orlando. You can go to, they have 6 theme parks there, maybe even more. I don't even know. SeaWorld oddly has the best roller coasters. So I don't know.
SeaWorld's got, and by the way, it's understated how brilliant a theme park is. And I had a job where I toured theme parks for like fucking 3 years. I had a job called Bert Kreischer where all I did was ride roller coasters. It's crazy that was an actual occupation. I remember one day sitting at a theme park and going, they invested $100 million in children having the most thrilling day of their life. What fucking child thought of this? Fucking Walt Disney. Yeah. Hey, by the way, if you came up with this idea 20 years before that, you'd be like pedophile. 20 years after that, you're like too late to the game. Yeah. At the right time, he said, let's buy Orlando. Let's get in a plane. Let's go over and scout these these cattle farms. Let's get rid of all these crackers. That's what they were. They were actually called crackers. Those guys that owned those cattle farms, they had whips, and that's how they moved cattle. I've done a lot of research on Florida. I've done a lot of research on Florida. And let's move them out. Let's build a theme park for children to inspire love and life and happiness and joy. It's a crazy concept, but you're right. Orlando is thick with them.
Yeah, and there's so many options. And it's not just one. If you're like, for whatever reason, I don't want to go to that one, I'm going to go to this one. You can go to a different one every single day of the week.
And then you can have dinner at Medieval Times. They've got a Medieval Times there. Medieval Times is fucking awesome.
They have everything. You can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
And then, but let's just say that's not your speed. Let's say it's too fast paced. You don't like heights. You don't like theme parks. Fine. You go another 30 minutes west. Now you got Ocala, Bradenton, Brandon. Go for a horseback ride. Walk through the nice, rural, beautiful greenery. Let's say that's too slow for you. Okay, let's find a middle ground. Let's go another 45 minutes west. Now you're in Tampa, another major city. Beauty, you got Tampa. What do you want? Beautiful. What's wrong with Tampa?
On the bay.
Yeah, and then let's just say, you know what? I hit all the clubs in Tampa. I'm born and raised Tampa. I want something a little different. You go 10 minutes north. Now you're in St. Pete, and you're in a different water. Yeah, different beaches.
St. Pete. I'm doing my special in St. Pete. I was just in St. Pete. We stayed at a beautiful hotel. I won't say where, but we stayed at beautiful, and it was a throwback to 1950s Cuba. It's still got that thumbprint of when they started when all of this development started happening, and it got down to Cuba, and right before Castro took over Cuba, all these marbles, bright greens, arches. I could talk about Florida. You know, all I do these days, I don't really drink that much on the road. I get high and I get in my bed and I listen to documentaries on Florida.
Really? Odd choice.
You know why? It's like a warm blanket. When I've listened to hours upon hours of Flagler, who established South Florida, hours upon hours of Henry Plant, the crackers, all the cattle ranchers, all the big moving of cattle ranch, the bugging up. Why do I talk? As a gambler, you'll appreciate this.
Okay.
So the move as a cattle rancher was trade outside Florida, trade to Cuba, trade your cattle to Cuba. They've got gold, and gold was king. All those big names, all those Sumter, all the names of the counties in Florida are dudes who traded cattle for gold.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
That's sick.
Isn't that a cool little, I find that and then I go, wait, I know these names. These are all dudes who who traded cattle for gold. That was the move, and that's how they established wealth, and that's how they established generational wealth. And then you listen to how they created like Coral Gables and all those things, and there was no fucking zoning laws. They just like, dig a ditch. Let's make fucking... You could never do that now. You want to know something interesting? I thought this was a cool little Florida fact.
Hit me.
Flagler said, you know how we can make real money? If we can get like there, because at the time everyone's like, yo, let's make a canal. Like the Suez Canal is being built, the Panama Canal. He's like, what if we do a canal in Florida through the Everglades? He says, two dudes, do me a favor. Grab a boat, grab whatever you need. Spend a month and cross the Everglades, get over to the Gulf, and tell me what it's going to cost me. Like, evaluate what it's going to cost me to build a canal. They came back 6 months later, and they're like, it's not fucking worth it. It's not fucking worth it. It's a shit show over there. There's gators everywhere. There's snakes everywhere. Fuck it. It's not worth it. And so, yeah, Florida, I find like it's, I see it all over you. Isn't that crazy?
Well, it's also written on my face.
Is it?
Well, the face tattoos is on young kids that aren't SoundCloud rappers is really prevalent in South Florida.
Yeah. That's the only tattoo I want is a little state of Florida right on my eye.
You should not do that.
That's all I want.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
All I want.
Yeah.
Really small, fine lines, good. Like Dr. Wu is the guy that does them. I want him to do it right here. I was gonna do it before my special.
I would recommend not.
Everyone says that. What tattoo do you regret?
All of them. I've been removing them for 5 years.
No.
Yeah, tattoos was so... It was almost like everybody in my life was right the whole time. It was it was almost like I wasn't smarter than every single person I ever encountered. It was almost like everybody knew something, and it turns out I was the only one who didn't.
How many do you have?
My whole head's tattooed, my head all the way down my whole body to my toes.
A nice fuck on your stomach.
Well, it actually, and then it says COPS here, and then I got a cop car on fire with bullet holes.
That's good.
Yeah, that's actually what the whole thing is.
That's fuck. I thought it said fuck cups.
Yeah, I know. No, cops.
Fuck cups. Like mugs and glasses, baby.
Yeah. Drink right out of the fountain like a man.
Did you gamble at the Hard Rocks down in South Florida?
When
did your gambling? Okay, well, let's go back. I want to do the whole, because you're someone that I find fascinating. You pop up so much in my algorithm that I feel like I know you, and I just have formed opinions about you based on who you are.
Sure.
Like based on the little clips.
I actually have a question.
Shoot.
Because I never got a chance to ask another famous person this. How did you find me?
You just popped up, and I saw your face, and I went, "Ooh, who's this?"
You saw my face
with the ear tattoos, and I was like, "Ooh, who's this guy?" And I saw the arm, and I saw Dirty Goth Boy, and I went, "Oh, okay, I'm into music." So I was like, "Is it music?" And then you started talking about gambling, and I went, "Oh," and then I started catching your story in clips and beats, like where you say, "I'm banned at casinos." I didn't understand how strict that was. I didn't understand the weight of that until I actually met you, and you were like, "No, I can't even walk into that place."
You know, that night after that particular event that we were at, you know, everybody like Dana and everybody went to the high limit room.
Yeah.
You know, the cops came to get me.
No.
I had to make an escape.
Really?
Yeah, I was with Bryce Hall and this kid MK. Like, I mean, everybody was there, but there was a couple of tables, and I had to like make this grand escape. And they had my photo up. They were walking around with it, looking for me. It was a whole thing.
That's
that night. Yeah.
It bums me out that casinos do that.
Same.
Because it's like, how much money do you make, and how much fun is it to see the baller come in? Yeah. How much fun is it to see that energy? I mean, I'm assuming it's a matter of time before Dana gets banned, because he's wins big. The problem is, so he is banned for most. The first time he and I ever met was in the most organic of ways ever. Like, it was in person. Before I got banned everywhere, I used to have my own designated parking space at the front doors of every casino on the Strip. And the reason was because I was buying with cash a lot. Well, the real reason was because I requested it. That's like the real reason. But it was like everybody understood I'm buying in with cash. So who knows how many millions in cash could be in my car. I'm not giving my keys to a valet driver with $3 million in the trunk. It's not happening. You know, you want me to bring the money in, I got to put it in a place that I know is safe to get in and out. And so I pull into my parking space one time, one of the particular places, as he was getting out, and he was parked next to me. So we just happened to walk into the same building at the same time. And you know who Ryan Williams is? I'm sure I do. I don't. He's
like the Olympic BMXer, scooter rider, YouTuber, whatever. He's a action athlete, right? Really, really awesome guy, really close friend. him and Dana are good friends. So me and Dana happened it was like just basically just me and him, right? Like we were both just on our own walking into a building. And I was just like, hey, what's up, Dana? Love your stuff. By the way, we have a mutual friend, R. Willie. And he goes, oh, you're friends with R. Willie? I go, yeah, he's actually staying at my house right now. We start talking and he goes, you gamble big? And I go, yeah, I just want to be like you. I said, I made a joke like that. We start talking and he tells me all the casinos he's banned from. And I go, it's funny. It's in my exact same list too. And we both had 3 casinos left at the time. But I don't think he can get banned from Stations because Stations is owned by the Fertitta brothers who also own the UFC and are Dana's partners in the UFC. So I can't imagine that happening. And he's such good marketing for Stations.
I would say, listen, there's a couple guys, I'll say their names and you'll never hear bad words come out of my mouth about them. Because I just enjoy what they are. I enjoy the life that they provide, like the energy they provide the world. And Dana White's one of them. I met him for the first time, and I think I've known of him. I've known of him obviously forever, and I think maybe we've known of each other maybe longer than when we met. But we met that weekend. I met you in person.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that was the first time me and him and Tom sat back because Tom and I were releasing our vodka, and we were just picking his brain, and he just was. He's so full of life right now. Like he really is. He's just so much energy, so inspiring.
Solid energy though. Solid. It's not like sporadic energy or chaotic energy. It's solid. If you're on a topic, he's like, this is what I bring for this topic.
Yeah, we were talking about health and we were talking about blood work and doctors and that's his sweet spot right now and diet and getting in shape. And both Tom and I are pretty obsessed with that right now because, we're getting older. We feel like at a certain age, you start realizing how precious health is. Like good blood work is like a big fucking topic we talk about.
Yeah.
But he has inspired so many people. I've never been a blackjack guy. And I go play blackjack now. And I have these motifs of Dana in my head where like I love when he gets like, I'm gonna ask you more about gambling in a second.
No worries.
But like Dana gambles in an interesting way.
That's exactly. People have asked me. I've described that his play exactly as such.
Yeah. Let's put a pin in Dana. Don't let me forget Dana. Don't let me forget to talk about gambling. I want to talk about all the games, my favorite games, why they suck, why they're good, the ways to play certain games. I am fascinated by Baccarat. I had a guy come up to me. We were at Hard Rock in Atlantic City, and this kid, I fucking love you, buddy, and I hope you're listening, walks by with a handful of chips, not more than $1,000. And he's like, Bert, you want to win big? Baccarat, baby. And I go, and I've heard that so much. And I was like, really? And he's like, come on, man, follow me. We'll win big. And I was like, yeah. And I didn't pay attention. And then he did a lap and did the same thing. Bert, want to win big Baccarat? And I said, how long you been playing? He goes, just learned it tonight. And I was like, I'm fucking passing, brother. I know. I'm passing on you quicker than I had pass on Thai pussy in Thailand. You grew up in Jersey, grew up in New York.
Yeah.
And then moved to Florida at like 18?
18, yeah.
18?
Yeah.
What was...
hold on a second. Not 18. Was it 18? Because actually I went on the run for a little while and I left the country when I was 17. I got brought back. I was 18 when I got brought back. It's such like a whole world in itself. So when I was real young, my grandparents were high stakes gamblers. At my grandfather's eulogy.
Of course. Now this reeks of like you ever see I love, once again, to go back to the Jewish thing, I love Jewish men who have a real connection with their grandparents.
Yeah.
Grandmas especially because there's this whole selling Beverly Hills. There was this one Jewish kid whose grandma was a big real estate exec and he was in her pocket and she and him had a connection. I just loved that energy that he'd spend time with his grandma. But so your grandparents were big stakes gamblers.
And real quick, by the way, I have a girl flying in who I've never met. I don't know what she looks like. So we're about to gamble together today. Let's see. All right. She's not here yet. I saw my phone ring. I thought it could have been her.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to gamble on this one together.
I haven't gambled on pussy in 20 years. 22. I didn't even gamble really. It was kind of I was like, no, this table's stacked. I'm counting the cards.
So my grandparents were high stakes gamblers also. And, like during the week, I grew up in New York City card rooms, right? They would take me I didn't know that the law, like legal, illegal, I don't know anything. I'm a kid, I'm a child. Like, I don't know. I'm just like with my grandparents. I don't know. And all I knew is like these people that I'm calling like aunt and uncle who would take me to Barnes and Noble to like get magazines or take me down and get whatever, a soda, whatever it was as a child. It wasn't until like I became an adult that I realized who these people are. And they were like really like I have a couple photos when I was a kid sitting at the table with them. And I look back at it now and I'm like, I can't believe that these were the people that were like taking me down for sodas, just like powerful, famous, wealthy, political, like really incredible human beings. And I didn't know that. To me, I was a child, right? So during the week, I grew up in New York City card rooms. And on the weekend, I'd go down to Atlantic City with my grandparents. And at a certain age, when you're real young, like the casino, like you're a child, like, okay, you're with somebody, like don't sit at a table, right?
Yeah.
But when you get to a certain age, you're too old to be considered a child. So then they start wanting to ID you, but they know you're too young to be there, right? You hit that like bad age range. Yeah. It's like 13 to 20, like that's where you have an issue being at a casino. So when I hit that range and they used to take me to Atlantic City, we get thrown out all the time because they'd come and ID me and they say, you're not old enough to be here. So they went and bought fake identities for me and my brother so we wouldn't get thrown out of the casino because they were tired of their weekends being ruined because I was underage. Oh. So I started gambling in the casinos really young, with these things. Anyway, so what had happened when I was 17 was I was a pretty bad kid. I hit a certain age and just...
Drugs?
Yeah, everything. Okay. The drugs, the partying.
You seem sober now.
Yeah, over 8 years, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2015, yeah. And, just all around problematic kid. And I chose that. I always loved, like, trying to be violent or trying to be outrageous or I was just a troublemaker, know? And so when I was 17, I got arrested for, now I look back, I go, that was stupid.
Yeah.
All of it was stupid. But at the time, I was like, this is a big deal. They're going to try me as an adult. And they were. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm out of here, right? So I was like, I'm moving. And I talked to my dad. I go, Dad, I'm leaving town. I'm going to move. My original plan was I'm going to move to Miami, right? They're not going to find me there. I'm going to hide out. He goes, you're an idiot. But he also wanted me to like straighten out, right? So he goes like this. He goes, if you move to Israel instead, I'll pay to fly you out there and I'll put you up for your first 2 weeks and then figure it out. I said, deal. I was only if my brother can come is actually what I said. My brother wanted to come.
Younger or older?
Younger. He's a year and a half younger. And my dad was like, whatever it takes, I think it's going to save your life. Bring your brother too, right? So me and him use our fake identities when we get out there, right? So now we land in Israel and we're two fake people, basically, like fake everything. Because the identities, we were both minors when we got there. So these identities put us both at legal adult age. The thing is in Israel, when you turn 18, everybody goes to the military. It's the law.
Yeah.
Not that I had to abide by that law because I wasn't a citizen, but it's like I wanted to party. And who am I going to party with? Either people that are too young or people that are out of the military and too old and don't really want to party. Yeah. So I'm like stuck again in like this bad age range. I'm like, this sucks. So on the morning of my 18th birthday, I bought me and my brother tickets to move to Amsterdam. So at 4 a.m. on my 18th birthday, we moved to Amsterdam. And I lived in Amsterdam a couple times. And the first time, I didn't know anything about Amsterdam. I only knew the red light district. So I go, obviously, we're going to move to the red light district.
Yeah, it's a great place to live. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And so we moved there. I was 18. My brother was like 16. And we had the time of our lives, obviously.
Bet.
Yeah. And we were just hustling. We were panhandling. We were hustling, whatever it took to just make a little money to keep going, Yeah. And we were walking down the main strip. I forget what the main strip is called, downtown, whatever, like in the red light district. Whatever. We're walking and it's a tourist shop and it says 20 euros, go to London. And I look at my brother and I go, do you want to move to London? And he goes, sure. We walk into the shop. I go, is it really $20 to get to London? The guy goes, yeah, 20 per person. I go, all right, here's 40 euros. I was like, we go back to the place we were living. We packed our bags and we made the bus. And so now we're moving to London. The problem is that we were smuggling drugs from Amsterdam into London because we don't want to run out.
Yeah.
So we got busted first at the border in Belgium. So you go from Holland to Belgium to France. In France, you go from the port of Calais to the port of Dover, England. And then from there, you go into London. So we had ended up getting busted at every single border, trying to bring more and more drugs, like every place. So we kept getting trapped in these countries. And he was a minor. I had a fake identity. Nobody knew what was going on. And we were just like these punk rock kids just doing graffiti, smoking weed or whatever, and skateboarding every day. It's like all we did, and just like trying to hustle money to keep going. And long story short, we keep getting busted all the borders. I remember this is an interesting story. So we were in France now. We made it out of Belgium at some period of time, and we're in France, and we're like, okay, we're finally going to make it to London, right? Yeah. So we have to go through customs. They do customs in Calais, in France. before. So what happens is the bus goes into a train car under the ocean and into Dover, England. So before you go under the ocean, that's where they do the custom. So we had 2 hikers' backpacks and 1 rolling suitcase for all mine and my brother's stuff and a skateboard. It was his turn to carry the rolling suitcase. I knew that I was covered in drugs. I had drugs in every pocket, everywhere on my being. And I really couldn't remember what he had. But I wasn't thinking about it. Like we were just moving along, right? It was his turn and to carry the suitcase. And we're like the last ones on the bus. We knew we were nervous. Like we don't know what this is going to look like. So we're the last ones. We get in line. I go through clean, no problem. I go, all right, get on the bus. You're good to go. I get on the bus. I'm looking around. I go, my brother's still in there. I go, this is taking a while. I go, this seems suspicious. I ditch all the drugs on the bus. Just like, I don't know, my hairs were sticking up. I just ditched everything. As soon as I ditch it, the cops come in and they go, are you with that other guy? I go, yeah. So they bring me in. What happened was, all right, so hold on. So they bring me into the thing. They bring me into a back room and they have my brother who's 16 at the time, butt naked, right? It's like 10 grown men, officers, and a 16-year-old naked boy. Mind you, he has a fake identity that says he was like 19 or something, right? Yeah. Or however old it said at the time. So they're under the impression that he's a grown adult. I know that he's a 16-year-old American runaway. And all these grown men just have him just fully butt naked. What happened was when in the rolly suitcase, we had this little personal bong. It was like this big and it came up on the x-ray. So they say, hey, we need to search your stuff. They found more drugs in the bag. They go, we need to search you because you're under arrest now. So they didn't strip search him. So they bring me in there and I see him naked. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I just scream out, he's 16. That's a fake ID. And they're all like, he's 16. And he goes, my brother just goes, yeah, I'm 16. And he like covers his dick like this. And everyone's like frozen. They're like, oh my God, what are we doing? Right? So everybody starts panicking. Have him put his clothes back on. They go, how old are you? And I go, I'm 18. You know, I'm an 18-year-old. I'm an American adult. That's a 16-year-old American, you know? They go, okay, this is what we're going to do. They go, if you agree to sign here that we found all the drugs on you, we're going to release you, whatever their version of ROR is, which is release on own reconnaissance. It means no bail. You just walk out. We're not going to charge him. You leave, but you can't leave the country until the court date. And me and my brother are like, yeah, whatever, buddy, just get us out of here, right? So I signed the paperwork that they found all the drugs on me. They give us all our stuff back, minus the drugs, and we just dip. And so now we're runaways, and we're runaways from the law. I'm runaway from the law in America. Now I'm a runaway from the law in France, and I'm trapped in France. And some time goes on, and we found a way out, and we finally found so we got trapped in Calais, France, and we finally made our way to Dover. Once we got into England, we went to London, we got like an apartment and like we figured it out. So the truth is I don't remember whether they took his ID or he lost his ID. All I know is at some point in London, I was like, yo, I'm going back to Holland. Do you want to come? And he couldn't find his fake ID. So he's now stuck in London, can't do anything. He's still a minor. Everything is cash. We don't want to do on card because I'm scared of getting caught. So I leave and I go back to Amsterdam. This time I lived in Ledzaplein. And I lived there for a while, homeless, like panhandling, like a couple hotels, couple hostels, just getting by, whatever, punk rock kids, whatever, nomads. And I finally, long story short, I go back to London. I walk in and he goes, hey, the London police raided the flat. They're looking for you. And I go, they can suck my dick. I don't know what they want from me, but whatever. Yeah. There's like 2 days before I came back. And my brother didn't know when I was coming back. We didn't have enough money for cell phones. So we had one phone between the two of us. And because I was going to be like a nomad and he was in the apartment, we knew that he'd be okay without a phone. So we didn't have a way to communicate. I get back and he tells me this. And I go, yeah, they can suck my dick, whatever. A couple of days goes by. There's a knock on our door. It's just this little chick, like short, little, petite chick. I open it. She barges in. She goes, are you so-and-so? Gives my full government name. And I'm like, who are you? She goes, Officer so-and-so. I'm with I forget what the thing is called, the London police. I forget what like their thing is called, whatever. And she goes, come downstairs, talk to me right now. There's a restaurant in the lobby floor. We're like, okay. We go down and she's a file this big. They had tracked us everywhere. They knew everywhere we ate. They knew everywhere we slept. They knew everything about every place we've been. But because we were such nomads and never we couldn't afford to stay anywhere long enough until we got to London, they were never able to keep up with us. So the Interpol was chasing us this whole time. And because we finally stayed in London long enough in an apartment, they were able to track us down and find us. And they said that I'm running from legal issues in America and that I'm a drug user, a drug dealer, and a criminal and all this stuff. And I'm harboring a minor that if I don't return to America in 72 hours and face my legal problems there, that I get arrested for kidnap in London. So we return back. But then it gets even sillier because you can't go, when you leave America and go to Israel, you have to come back from Israel. So even though I was now stuck in London, I couldn't just go from London back to America. So it became this whole new rat race of getting back into Israel to go from Israel back to the
It's giving me
States.
such anxiety.
Yeah.
Like I the whole time I'm going, what are your parents doing? Like,
Yeah.
why are they not fucking? I have 2 kids that are that age right now, and I'm just going like, I'm worried about her ordering Starbucks online. Like, she just got me a tea, and I'm like, what credit card did you use?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! So did you have to go back to Israel?
So I went back to Israel and for it was not a real layover, but basically a layover. Like I didn't do anything. I got to Israel and like I stayed there, just got on another plane and came back to the States, and I went to jail here. And
Went to jail here?
Yeah. And it was like fine. It was like not even a big deal. But then when I got out, then I started to get into like real adult trouble and stuff like that. I forget how this whole story
Just so
started.
you know, you were doing real adult trouble at 18. Like this is like one of those fantastic fucking story. It makes Holden Caulfield look like a fucking pussy. He just got on a butt. Do you know? Have you read Catcher in the Rye?
Oh, Catcher in the Rye. I got you.
That's all. Like that's fucking insane.
Yeah, that was ages 17 and 18. Yeah.
And when did you get sober?
24.
So you still had a good solid fucking run of 6 years.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of trouble
after it.
happens between ages 18 and 24. Yeah.
And that's when you're down in Miami?
Yeah, exactly. So I come back here, I get out of jail, and I go to Miami. So I did go to Miami at 18.
Wow. And what drug do you miss?
It's hard to say. I think it would be really cool to be able to drink successfully.
It's awesome.
I think it would be really cool.
It's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And by the way, there are big runs where I'm not doing it successfully. But man, that first day is successful as fuck.
Yeah.
It's so successful that tomorrow goes, we should do it again today. And you're like, really? And then it's not until the 4th day that it becomes unsuccessful. And so where I say to myself, all right, let's get back in shape. Let's start eating right again. You fucking got off the rails. But I didn't do that. I didn't drink. I don't know. I guess I drank pretty successfully my whole life. But like lately I've dialed it in to where I give myself, I like to get on the horse bareback and run for a little bit. And then before the horse starts, I start realizing my arms are getting tired, my legs are getting tired.
Oh, you're talking about a real horse. You like to ride horses.
I love riding horses.
Okay, gotcha.
But I consider the alcohol the horse.
Okay, so this is a metaphor we're using.
Metaphor.
Okay, understood. Yeah.
Ride the horse is so fucking fun. And then you got to get on the wagon. Let the horse get hitched up and get on the wagon and go, all right, we're good. But yeah, drinking successfully. Yeah, you missed all the fun drinking. You missed like a martini at a steakhouse.
I know, exactly right.
You missed a wine run, like wine runs. Like when you're an adult and you get into wine, that's cool as shit. You missed God, you missed a lot of fun drinking moments, like vacation margaritas.
I understand. I like the concept where somebody will wake up during the day, like on a Saturday morning, and say, hey, I'm going to black out tonight.
Oh, it's so fun.
And then choose to do it.
It's so great.
Mine was never by choice.
Oh.
So, I never had that experience. And you want to know something funny? My favorite alcoholic beverage is one that I've never even tried.
What is it?
White Russians.
Oh, they're amazing.
Exactly. I would
so
know.
Good.
I know that if I...
Let me walk you through the chick you never fucked. You get to an airport.
Yeah.
It's 8 a.m. You get to the airport and it's 7:45 and you walk up to the bar and you say, hey, are you guys serving? And the guy goes, in 15 minutes. Oh, that's such a great feeling. And that 15 minutes of sobriety is so sweet because you know what's on the other end of that. And then he comes up to you and he looks at his watch and he goes, I got 5 minutes. I can start making your drink now. And you think, what am I going to get? You go, Campari Spritz? No, it's too early for a Campari Spritz. I was up late last night. Ooh, I wouldn't mind a White Russian. And then he makes you a White Russian and it goes down like a milkshake. Oh, yeah. It is such a great filling feel that you go, I'll take one more White Russian. After the second one, you realize too many White Russians you're gonna be farting and burping on the plane. And then he goes, what can I get you next? You still have the taste of the White Russian in your mouth. You go, can I get a double vodka and soda, big glass, no lime? And that mother of God, you missed.
Man.
White Russians are pretty fucking awesome.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
God, they're fucking great.
I'm tasting what you're describing. Like,
I'm swallowing as I tell you.
Yeah, I feel it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, White Russians are pretty, Campari Spritzes in Italy are pretty fucking amazing. Like, especially like 1:30 and you're in a plaza and you're with your wife and you're sitting there and you go, we're on vacation. I don't want to get wasted right now, but I wouldn't mind to lighten the day. A little something to refresh me. And she goes, Aperol spritz? You go, Campari spritz. I like the feel of dirt in my mouth.
Yeah, I'll never.
I'm not drinking right now. And there's a fun conversation. Yeah, weed's pretty awesome.
I was never a weed guy. I think weed is
like a weed guy.
I thought weed, to this day, I think weed is really cool.
It's cool.
I think the culture is cool.
Oh, there's the ritual is cool.
Yeah.
Someone said, "Oh, I don't like the whole idea of rolling a joint." What the fuck? You're missing out the beauty of smelling the weed. Mike Tyson just sent me like an ounce of weed. He's got his weed company.
Yeah.
And the rolling papers and some edibles and flour. And I opened up the flour and I smelled it and I went, well, this is good weed. And I said to myself, I'm going to smoke weed tonight. Weed is always, I can do weed any night. It's not I don't mind weed. I'm not a big weed smoker, so I can take one hit and be really solid. And then weed decides that it's going to take you by the hand, like a girl whose party you're at. Like she knows all the people at the party. Mm-hmm. She's really beautiful. She's in a white dress. She's not wearing a bra. She grabs you by the hand. She goes, let me introduce you to everyone. And you're like, okay. And you see big dudes with their shirt off in the kitchen. And she's like, don't worry, they're cool. And because that's what weed will scare you sometimes. And then you walk in and weed's like, yo, where'd you go to high school? And you're like, oh, fuck. And then all of a sudden she's like, hey, don't worry. One guy's my brother. And you're like, oh, so I don't have to be scared? God, I fucking love weed.
You think weed's cool? We should try heroin.
I'd imagine heroin's the same chick. She just meets you in the door and grabs your dick and starts jerking it. She's like, we're fucking tonight. And you're like, hold on, this is moving really fast. Are you going to introduce me to anybody? She's like, no, we're going to do it by the dumpster. Come on, let's go. Wait, what's heroin like?
It's like, I knew I shouldn't have said that joke because I knew you were going to ask me this. I was going to try to avoid this. All right, this is actually what it's like. When you're a child.
Trigger warning.
Yeah.
If you are, listen to me, if you're my daughter, any of my daughter's friends' ages, this is bad territory. There's nothing good that comes out of heroin. There is nothing, zero good comes out of it. So many people lose all of their free will to this goddamn drug. Now, what's heroin like?
Also, heroin hardly even exists anymore. Now it's all fentanyl.
Fuck.
And I'll describe the difference in a second. But when you're a child and you get your baby blanket, right? Mm-hmm. The most cozy feeling in the world, no matter what's happening, if there's people at your parents' house, Christmas Day, Tuesday on a rainy day, doesn't matter. You're at home when you wrap yourself in that baby blanket.
Yeah.
Shooting dope is like, okay, you hit it, right? And you wait. And you're similar, like you were saying when the bartender's like 15 minutes, right? But here you only have 6 seconds. You go, 6 seconds. And then you feel it creeping. It starts like right like mid upper back. And you feel it tingling, start creeping up your spine to the back of your head. And then it goes, it's like almost like how do you describe it? Like a color is filling the inside of your body from your back of your neck into your head. And then it rushes into your head. And then from your head, it goes whoosh down to your toes. And your whole body inside and out feels like you're wrapped in your baby blanket.
I can only imagine it's like the first time you have sex without a condom and you put it in and you go, oh, I'll never be wearing a condom again.
Very similar.
Well, I can't believe I ever wore a condom. I mean, pussy's a pretty amazing feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm certain my daughters are downstairs listening to this, but yeah, I'm glad I did pharmaceutical heroin, for, in after an injury.
Oxys and stuff.
Yeah. I got into them, but I never got into them. It was never a thing for me. I think my thing is energy. And for whatever reason, alcohol has always been more of a stimulant to me.
Sure.
Where it wakes me up, it gets me going. Now I want to have a good time. Weed for me is like end of the day. And by the way, it's so crazy because I absolutely don't need it. So I often don't smoke weed, but if I choose to, it's a way for me to kind of sit in my gratitudes on life, because weed's really complimentary about like appreciating what you have and what you and why you should be happy. I just had a great podcast with this guy, Neil Brennan. He's a brilliant dude. You should do his podcast Blocks. He's a really brilliant dude.
He's a podcaster.
He's a comic, and he created the Chappelle Show with Dave Chappelle. He's best friends with Dave Chappelle. He's a big director, big movie director, commercial director, great comedian. He's got a new special. It's fucking really brilliant.
Yeah, put me on. I'd be more than happy.
He's been doing DMT and ayahuasca to get through depression, and him and Tim Dillon are two people who have said, do you know who Tim Dillon is? Fucking same. Brilliant dude. Have expressed views about anxiety and false conversations that you can have in your head to me that has been very powerful, where you start realizing if this was a movie, you are the main character and it looks pretty badass. And so to relish what's real versus what's not real, and conversations in your head, for whatever reason, I can get into conversations in my head that aren't real. I can imagine things mostly my friends or my wife are saying about me that isn't actually grounded in reality. And so weed is very good for me at the end of a day to find the reality of things, and that are a little non-tangible, like how beautiful my trees are, or like how cool it is that the moon's out and I'm standing on 2 feet and I'm breathing. Like those moments are pretty fucking badass. But I can do that. Maybe not as tangible without weed. I can really.
Weed is a hallucinogenic.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that it was outlawed for as long as it was. I wonder what the world would be like.
Well, it was a political play. You know why it got outlawed?
Yeah, Chris Hardwick's great grandfather.
Right. Does
anyone get that reference? So Chris Hardwick married Patty Hearst's daughter.
I don't know.
William Hearst.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
William Hearst was the yellow journalist who owned the San Francisco Chronicle or whatever, and he started polarizing weed as the Mexicans. That's why it's marijuana. So it sounds Mexican. By the way, I'm bastardizing this story, but it was all. I mean, tell me what your take on it was.
My take is that there was a presidential election, and one of the presidents was losing the popular vote. So he started running smear campaigns against cannabis, saying how evil it is and how dark it is. And when he had enough of that media being pumped to the citizens, they started believing it. He was the first and only president to ever say, we need to outlaw this because it's so evil. And that's how he won the presidential election. Yeah,
I'm sure that I'm certain that's in that same probably realm of.
Sure.
They would say that this is how the black men are going to fuck our women. It loosens their morals, and it was just all jazz, and then jazz melted into the hip hop culture, I'm sure. But yeah, weed's pretty awesome. Heroin sounds pretty fucking amazing. I'll never do heroin. I'm sure I will. Like when I'm on my deathbed, I'll be like, hey, I might as well try that shit.
You know what I think's not cool and it freaks me out? Dabs and wax and all that weird stuff. You got the propane torch lighter and all these rigs, and you got to heat it up, melt it, stir it. The smoke's here. You put the metal thing in. Yeah. You might as well just smoke crack.
Yeah, it's sexier. It's certainly, you look tougher.
It freaks me out seeing people do. I'm like, bro, it's just weed, man. Just smoke the weed. Just smoke weed.
Just smoke weed. Yeah. I never understood getting that high, and I've been around a lot of dabs, and I've never done a dab. I've never had interest in it.
They have like electric heaters on them sometimes. Yeah, it's like, who's plugging in a bong? Like, just smoke some weed, bro.
I never understood bongs that much. Like, I was always like, yeah, but you can just light a joint and everyone can be around. I mean, I get it. It's a little cooler of a smoke, but like I was never I never wanted that much weed in my lungs. Like to rip a bong that's like a foot long, you had to like literally go. And I was like, that's already too much. That's like drinking with no teeth. Like, like I didn't, how did you get sober? Did you have to do something to get sober? Or did you just go, that's it?
I was homeless when I first got sober, because I was homeless at the end of my using, and I just stopped, right? But it really wasn't on my own will. It was just like I just didn't have this spirit in my physical body to even get up and get it, right? Like I was just... I was like bedridden.
There's a word. I just saw a documentary, or not a documentary. I'm sure it was an Instagram post, a documentary about someone saying that that sometimes they leave themselves a shot for the morning.
Yeah,
it's called
wake up.
Yeah,
wake up shot. Yeah, wake up.
And this one guy was talking about the last guy. It was a guy I had on the podcast, Brandon Novak.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And he was saying his last day of using. He woke up and he hadn't left himself a wake-up shot.
Yeah. And
he was the panic that was going through his head. And he was like, this is the day I got to get clean.
I have stories about Novak. I met Novak. It's so crazy, the story. I was telling my buddy when I lived in Florida, the story about how effective Novak was in my life before he and I ever met. I had read his first book, Dream Seller, when I was in jail. And it was very eye-opening. It like made a huge difference in my life. And like how... and I'm such a huge fan of like that whole crew.
Skateboard culture, yeah.
Yeah, that whole culture, right?
Yeah. Especially that whole Philly, Baltimore area.
Yeah.
Love Park, that whole fucking group was like, it was just a badass group.
Yeah. And they all went on to do like things that were my aesthetic, my style. So like I watched all their shows. I watched every piece of content that ever existed, like all this stuff, And so anyway, so I read the book in jail, and it was inspirational. It made me feel comfortable about certain aspects of my life and my choices. And I can come to terms with this the way he did, and it helped him. Anyway, I was telling this basically this story to my buddy while we were driving to Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach. As we're telling the story, whatever, I park. I get out of my car, we start walking, and I accidentally bump shoulders with someone right when I get out of my car. And I go, "Oh, I'm sorry." And the guy goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." And it was Brandon Novak.
Wow.
And I go, "Oh my God, I was just telling my buddy here, Errol, the impact you've had. It's nice to meet you on Mikki." And we talked a little bit, exchanged numbers, whatever. And from in the very beginning of like shortly after that, we kept in touch a little bit. And then, there just wasn't, whatever. We just didn't, life went on or whatever. And even to this day, like, I like all this stuff. And
he's a really inspirational dude.
Yeah.
And that whole group, I was older than them, but I was a fan of Jackass. And,
yeah, exactly.
And Bam, Viva La Bam. And I root for Bam Margera. I don't even know the guy, but I root for him, hoping that he's doing good.
I hope so too, but he's the reason me and one of my exes split up.
Oh, wait, did I hear that? Yeah, I heard that.
I said it one time right after it happened.
I heard that. You're so in my algorithm. Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah, but I also hope he's doing good. I seen him after that. We were together at the X Games in Ventura last year.
Wait, just recently?
Yeah.
I was there.
You were there?
Yeah.
I was there.
I was next to Lil Wayne.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was there too.
Yeah.
I got a blowjob while playing blackjack during the X Games. I posted it on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah. Because that's a casino at the fairgrounds. So where the FMX quarter pipe is,
yeah,
it backs up to the balcony of the second floor of the casino.
Holy shit.
So when I walked into the casino, they like rolled out the red carpet. They're like, "What are you doing in our little rinky-dink casino?" And I'm like, "I'm here for the X Games."
I'm about to take all your money.
Yeah. So they let me shut down that balcony so only me and my people had access to it. So we had front row seats with air conditioning, with food delivery, with drinks. And in between all the events, we just turn around and just play at the tables. It was a sweet setup. And at one of the times I got a blowjob while playing a blackjack hand while FMX was happening.
God, that would never happen with me and my wife. There would be so much conversation before. I hope my wife's listening. She's like, yeah, that's never happening.
Yeah.
So let's get to, when does gambling enter your life? I feel like we've already talked for an hour and I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface with you.
Yeah. I mean, gambling was always a part of my life through my family. And
but when did it become where you go, I'm out of drugs, I'm going to hit these casinos?
So when I was 24 and I straightened out, like the first year,
you had to have a stint as trying to rap. You had to.
No. Listen to this. I got a lot of songs. I got rest in peace, Lil Keed. His last song ever was my first song ever. And that was my brother, man. Rest in peace, Lil Keed. I got songs with Chief Keef, Lil Keed, Kill Cody, 2K Baby. I got a song with that dude that I told you about that you pulled up, Wet Brain, and said is Tom's cousin.
Yeah.
I got a song with him. I almost brought him today.
For real?
Yeah, like that's my boy.
Shut up.
Yeah, his real name is Matt.
I'm dying to know if you knew all the people in Florida that I was like fascinated with. Wasn't Bonk in Florida?
Oh, Boonk. The dude who stole from everybody?
Yeah, Boonk was in Florida.
Yeah, I never met him, but I hated his thing.
And then the Joker guy, Staples.
Yeah, that's right. He's from Miami.
Snipples.
Stitches.
Stitches was in Miami.
Yeah. I have a signed Polaroid from Stitches. I don't know how it got to my house. I don't ever remember receiving it, but it's in my house. Yeah.
Miami was pretty wild.
Yeah.
When you were down there, it was like really fucking going off.
Yeah. It was on the come up as far as like modern culture goes. Yeah.
So you get into these casinos and then do you immediately go, I've been doing this my whole life. I think I would assume you would start in on poker.
So when I was a kid, I learned all the basic games, but my grandparents played high stakes gin rummy, Hungarian rummy to be exact.
Buddy, we spent the night playing rummy last night. We played Rummy Cube.
Okay.
Me and my girls, Isla's fucking insane. And if she knows, and I hope she's not listening, if she knows that she can make money off of Rummy Cube, off of rummy, we have lost that child forever. She is so fucking good.
She should play in the World Series.
I can't. I'm trying to send her to college. She can't know there's options out there.
Yeah.
So high stakes rummy. That's fucking sexy.
It was cool, man.
That's fucking sexy.
And it was all
because that is That is real, and it's real brain.
Mhm.
It's real brain.
I love Rummy. What's cool about Rummy is it's basically the basis of every card game. You know, like whatever version of poker you want to play, and almost every card game that's not in a casino is a variation of poker, right? Texas Hold'em, Omaha, Double Board, the mixed games, high low, like all of it, right?
Yeah.
So if you can play Rummy good, just like Stu Unger. You know who Stu Unger was?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay, good.
Of course.
Some people don't, but
No, I know all the guys.
Yeah.
Because I got into poker pretty heavy when Georgia was born, 2004, 2003, 2002. When poker started blowing up,
Yeah.
I got really into poker.
Okay, cool. So Stu Unger is my forever favorite, ultimate, no matter what card player. Like he's the one for me. Like he's the messiah for me for cards. Obviously I didn't get to meet him, unfortunately, you know, but so he was one of the arguably the best Rummy player in the world in history, possibly.
Yes, I knew that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so if you could play good Rummy, you could play a lot of other games good too. So I enjoy Rummy. But when it came to like the actual poker part, like Texas Hold'em we'll call it, I find it so boring.
Yeah.
What a drag, in my opinion. Everybody's always quiet. Everyone's always trying to outsmart each other. It's like, calm down, buddy. Like, you got the best hand or not? You know, like we're friends. You trying to trick me right now? Do you got the hand or not? You know?
Yeah. That's the thing I lost, the energy I lost in poker was, for me, the thing I love about gambling is when it, much like heroin, takes over your body and you have all the gravity's gone and you have the nuts and you know you have the nuts or when you don't have the nuts and you go all in. The gamble, the sparkle of the gamble was enticing to me.
That's
and
the good part.
when you start going out to like, you know, all the casinos outside here and you see guys that really they play it a certain way and they play it to win and they're like, they fold, go in on the thing. And then all of a sudden you're playing against pros. I don't know. It wasn't quite as fun for me.
It's boring.
And if you do win on, you have 2-7 and the flops 7-7-2, and then you win, all of a sudden you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And it's like, I never liked, I that's where I lost out on poker.
So I look at it like this in my like emotional state, right?
Yeah.
I'm either sitting down with my buddies because we want to hang out and just like be together and have an excuse to hang out.
Yeah.
But then we're all trying to trick each other and take each other's money.
Yeah.
That's not cool. So you're like, okay, I'm not going to play against friends because I don't want to trick them and take their money. So I'm going to play against enemies. So now you have to commit to sitting at the same table in the same room with 8 of your enemies. And it's like, that's not fun either.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around my enemies.
No.
So I can't play with my friends because it's wrong. I don't want to be around enemies, can't play with them. So it's like, where's the common ground?
Can I ask you a question? I played a game one time and I don't know if it's real.
Okay.
I don't, because my memories connected with my dreams, connected with movies I saw, connected with everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Europe, at the oldest casino in Europe, in the Black Forest. You had to wear a collared shirt and you had to dress somewhat nice. We were backpackers. Yeah. And I played, tell me if this is right, if you've ever seen it. I played what's the card game? I played solitaire for money.
Against the house?
It was a $35 buy-in.
Okay.
And for every card you got up top, you got like $5. And they were betting that you couldn't clear the board.
And if you don't, you lose the 35.
It was probably more than 35. It was probably 155.
Okay,
55.
Whatever.
It was done out in a way where you played solitaire against the house.
You can play solitaire for money online. I know that. I've never done it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it would make sense that they also offer it in certain casinos.
Okay.
If you can do it online, you could probably do it in real life.
Yeah.
Personally, I've never done it.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably really happened. Yeah.
I remember that so vividly. I don't know if it's real. But here's the thing about my life, which is really kind of beautiful. I had this conversation with my buddy, Tom. It doesn't matter to me if it's real or not real. I have the memory, and that's what's important.
And the feelings that support the memory.
He asked me if I had ever seen Nirvana play. And I said, yeah. I saw Smashing Pumpkins open for Nirvana. And he goes, that can't be right. And I said, no, I swear to God I did. And then he goes, well, let's call someone to find out if it's real. And I said, why? I already have the memory. Like, I was there. All you can do now is take away what I feel is a tangible memory.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's not real. And then all these times I've told that story, I feel like I lied. And then he goes, but don't you want to know if it's real? And I go, no, I don't need to. And I said, I saw Michael Jordan play, and I don't know if that's real. And I don't want to take away those two experiences. And then we called my buddy, John Dacre, and in my memory, I said I can tell you where I was sitting in the concert. Yeah. We called John Dacre. I said, Dacre, have you ever seen Nirvana play? And he goes, yeah, I watched them I watched Smashing Pumpkins up with them. I was with you, and I went, I fucking knew it. I don't need to check about Michael Jordan now. I got all my memories are real. But yeah, I feel like I played that once. But so Rummy, I got to go back to you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So as a kid, I learned the basic structure of all the games because that's what we did at family gatherings, like get-togethers, after dinners, holidays. We like played cards. We used coins like pennies, dimes, nickels, quarters, and gambled like that. Got older, went to the casinos, started learning the casino games, just being with my grandparents, whatever. Then my life took a bad turn. I made all the wrong decisions. I made life hard when it didn't have to be. Blah blah blah. I come out of that phase, and I'm 24. And for the first year, when I was 24 and I was straightened up, I just did anything I could to get by. I just didn't want to ruin my life anymore. Someone was like, you're going to work at a tattoo shop. You're not going to get paid and you're going to scrub their toilets, but I'm going to let you live in my house for free. I said, that's way better than where I was living. I'm in.
Yeah.
Then someone was like, hey, I'll give you $100. This is in Florida, right? I'll give you $100 to paint the outside of a house. I said, I haven't made $100 in a long time. I'm in.
Yeah.
Then he goes, you did great. I'll pay you $100 to do another house tomorrow. I'm in. I told the tattoo shop, hey, I got a job. I can't work here anymore. They weren't paying me anyway. Like, we don't care. You're not doing anything. We're just trying to help you. Like, cool. Start painting houses. And the guy goes, hey, we don't have to paint houses anymore, but if you still want to work with me, I'll teach you how to cut tile. I go, sure.
Done.
Yeah. And they go, I'm going to teach you, cut the tile. He goes, I'm going to teach you how to lay it. He goes, now we're going to do demolition here and we're going to put the sheetrock back up and so on and so forth. So for the first year, I'm just trying to get my life right. At roughly towards the end of the year, our contract was up. What ended up happening, I didn't realize in the beginning because it didn't matter. Didn't matter to me. This guy, his name is Sean Dalton, and to this day we're friends. He took a contract with a rehab company for all their housing, their sober livings, where he was going to come in. He was also like straight and everything, where we're going to come in, demo the houses and rebuild them, like rehab the rehab basically. When we finished rebuilding everything, work was done. Some of the guys that worked in the rehab itself came to me and they were like, hey, like we know you're bettering your life and we also know you're now out of work. Do you want a job in-house with us? And I was like, I don't know what you guys do. They're like, you'll figure it out. Just come, And I figured it out pretty quickly. And I saw these kids even dumber than me, which is hard to do. That's an accomplishment, right? Dumber than me and driving brand new Beamers and Benzes and Audis and like Rolex and the nice new clothes and the white tees. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And they go, yeah, we've been promoted. This is like the trajectory we took in the company. This is like where they pay bigger salaries for this position or this or whatever. And I was like, if you idiots figured it out, I'll figure this thing out.
Yeah.
And I did that. And and basically I was getting promoted and moving up the ranks. So as I'm moving up the ranks and getting promoted, I'm making more money. So then I go, for the first time in so long, I'm like a free man. Like I'm not incarcerated. I'm not homeless. I pay my bills and I have a little extra money to enjoy my life with. And I go, well, what are you guys doing after work? They go, we're going to go to the casino. They have an awesome steakhouse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I love gambling. It's in my blood. Like I'm a gambler. Like, let's go. So that now I'm re-entered into the casino life, with this group of guys basically. And turns out they did that every single day. They were going to the casino every day after work. They all made more money than they knew how to spend. And, so was I. And we were young and we didn't know what to do with ourselves. And all of us didn't want to get in trouble. All of us wanted to stay sober. Like, what do? Go to the casino every day. So that's what we started doing. And I loved it. And I was not winning. I was losing. We were all losing. We were losers. Yeah. We were gamblers walking into a casino. We were just idiots, you know? But we were having so much fun. And it kept me out of trouble. And I go, I love this. We all got to know the staff because we're there every day. A lot of them ended up marrying some of the dealers and waitresses, having families. So all of us, that became like our social life was evolving around the casino. Specifically, it was Coconut Creek, not even the Hard Rock, because the Hard Rock was too touristy. There was too many chaos. Yeah. Coconut Creek has no hotel, no nightclub, limited restaurants. So it was like anything that you would know, like in a week of being there every day. Yeah. And it became our lifestyle. And the more money I made, the bigger I gambled. Sometimes I won real big, but overall, I'm a loser. Like I just was going because that was my social life and it was fun. I started doing very well in business. I opened some of my own companies. They did very well. And now making a lot.
What kind of business?
Treatment centers and pharmacies.
Okay.
I was already in the space. So it was like a natural transition for all of us. It's like, that was like, our next promotion was like, we open our own, Yeah. So we started doing that. And now we're making way too much money for kids our age. We're all idiots. We never planned for this. We're just trying not to die, And it just happened. And I ended up selling my companies and, my business partner, my best friend, was murdered. My girl, who I was with for so many years, we split up. And it was just like at one moment, everything was just like, why am I still in Florida? What's keeping me here? I have no reason. And I had all this money and I go, I'm going to move to LA. And when I moved to LA, Vegas, Vegas, a 45-minute flight, 3.5-hour drive, beautiful drive. There's no traffic too, like meditative.
Yeah.
And one of my companies that I owned, we had formed a partnership with another company that did something similar here in Los Angeles. But I was never here because I lived in Florida. So they gave me their guy who did all their logistics. He was like their top dog. Like he kept those companies that were based here held together. And I said to them, I said, we can partner, but I can't be in both these places at once. They go, we're gonna give you this guy. He'll be your you here. So me and this guy are on the phone all day, every day, 7 days a week for like a year before I make the transition out here. So he's like my only real friend in LA. Turns out he's a sicko degenerate gambler. But we always try to keep it professional, at least in the beginning, Can
I tell you that I don't know who this guy is, but I sat next to a guy that you're talking about, a very, very similar person. I sat next to his wife and their daughter on a flight from New York to LA, and she told me about a guy. Apparently, there's good money in rehab facilities.
Yeah.
So getting sober, if you're listening and you're dealing with anything, apparently there's some loot in getting sober.
There is.
And there's some loot in getting sober and helping people. But this guy was a fucking wild gambler. Keep going.
Yeah. You got to think a lot of us that are in that space that own the rehabs, we only know about the space because we went to rehab, So like, it's like this. If you have a drunk horse thief who stops drinking, you still have a horse thief, right? So if you're a maniac on drugs and you take away the drugs, you're still a maniac. You know what I mean?
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
So like, just because a lot of us stop like partying and drinking and stuff, it didn't change us. Like we're still maniacs. We just don't drink and drug and stuff. So yeah, yes. I believe you. I know because I know the money in it. And a lot of us gamble and a lot of us are degenerates.
She was fucking gorgeous too, with a child, with an infant.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah.
Man, she was fucking on one too. It was a fucking really fascinating flight. I couldn't stop drinking and listening. She was drinking too. Keep going.
Yeah. So I move out here and he's like my only friend here and we connect. And I'm like, let's go to Vegas because I like to gamble. I have all this money and like I sold my companies anyway. I was like, I'm not even really working. Like, I got nothing to do.
Yeah.
And he works on his phone anyway. And he's like, yeah, let's go. So we start going to Vegas like once a week and we happen to be winning. And mind you, when I was in Florida, like I won. I probably won more than the average gambler. But I don't think, maybe I was a net profit winner down there. I don't really know. It was never like a thought. I was a businessman like that gambled because I was a degenerate, for fun. So we come to Vegas and we start gambling and we win like immediately. Sweet. What a great welcoming to my big move across the country and my new life, right? Cool. Keep going. Keep winning. Sweet. Lost some, won more. Sweet. Having a good time. But we were just going for a good time. COVID hits and we're living in LA. And if you were here, you know how serious they took it here. Here in New York was ridiculous. Vegas was the opposite. Vegas was like Florida. Yeah. To them, they never even heard the word COVID.
Yeah.
So they stayed open to the bitter end, right? So I'm here. I got a penthouse. I live alone. I only know one guy here. And I'm like stuck in my house. I'm like, this is not fun.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in my crib. Like, this is not good. I was like, let's get out of here. And we're like, we know Vegas is open. The executives are texting me because now I'm like a decent sized gambler. You know how it is, the host.
When you say decent sized gambler, the average gambler, I would say $100 a hand is a lot to the average gambler.
I played bigger. I was buying in the range of between 20, 30, 50,000 probably was like my max buy-in at that time. And on average, doubling. If I bought in for 20, I'm winning 20. I bought in for 50, I'm winning 50.
And you're playing blackjack?
Blackjack and baccarat.
Okay, we're going to talk about baccarat. Keep going.
Yeah.
We'll talk about baccarat. Keep going.
Yeah. And, but we're just having fun, but we're winning, So we're winning, upwards of, a mid 5 figures a week, and that's great, And we just get to party. Like, I don't have hours, sleep wherever I want, get these sweet villas, like the butlers. It was sweet. So anyway, so COVID hits. I'm losing my mind. I'm like, bro, we got to get out of here. He goes, Vegas is still open. Let's go. So now we're in Vegas. We ended up moving into I don't know if you know, all the hotels have like these secret villas.
I do know that now.
Okay. So.
And by the way, I stayed in Adele's villa. It's not even Vegas.
I want to ask you which hotel it was. I'm curious.
I think I can tell you on the air.
I don't want to promote. I don't want anyone to think that we're promoting, like, go stay in Adele's villa in this hotel.
For the record, you will never stay in Adele's villa. I can't afford Adele's villa.
Yeah.
Like no one can afford. Adele doesn't afford Adele's villa.
Yeah.
Oh, I also want to talk to you about fucking Bruno Mars. Keep going.
Oh, I got an interesting one about him.
You do.
Yeah.
I fucking love that Filipino.
Yeah.
That guy's a fucking gangster.
Yeah.
I want to wake up in the same room as Bruno Mars after a rough night of losing and just see him smile and go, let's win it back. I want to be with Bruno Mars and go, we got a shot. We're down. All we can do is win.
Yeah. Only way to go from here is up.
The only way to go is from there is up.
Yeah.
That energy of a gambler
who
goes, I sat next to a dude one time. I won't say his name. I won't say his name out of respect. He's a fucking gangster. He was losing 1,000 at the time, 1,000 at a time, 1,000 at a time. And he's like, no. This happens. This is how it happens. You got to lose a couple times. Yeah, everyone's going to lose, but I'm going to win. And that motherfucker got up 50 grand. And I was like, holy shit. How the fuck did you do that? And he goes, you got to lose to win. Keep going. So
now we're living in the secret villas. And as we stay there and play more and more, they give me more and more things. And you know what's so interesting? They don't tell you that you can get these things. Yeah. So like, when you show up to Vegas and you're like a tourist or like a newbie, they don't tell you, hey, just so you know, we got 10 private jets on standby in case you earn one. They don't tell you that. Yeah. They don't go, hey, we have a fleet of Rolls Royces and Maybachs, all with your name on it, ready for you to earn it. They don't like tell you. Like they go, hey, by the way, if you just ask me, I have to give you stuff.
Do you realize the people that know about that are the people betting $25 a hand thinking, I'll be getting the suite tonight? Because that's every guy I went to college with. Yeah. This is get down a player's card. Yeah. Can you cash out for $100? Make them fives. They respect this.
Yeah. So for me, when we were going there, I didn't know at first what was happening. Well, what I ended up learning was the hotels were competing against each other for my business because everybody's a loser in the casinos. Yeah. So even though I'm winning and I'm on a hot streak and I'm lucky right now and I'm making all this money, I'm going to give it all back and then some. So every casino is like, keep him in our building so when he does lose it, we get all the money. So what's happening was I would show up and I would pay for a room like the first time. Because I don't know, right? Pay for the room, play. Somebody would come greet me. They're wearing a suit. They go, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm a host here. Are you staying in the hotel? Oh, yeah, I have a room there. Really cool room. He goes, oh, great. I'm going to cover the cost of your room. And I go, oh, what a nice guy. Sweet. And he goes, is there anything else I can get you? And I go, no, man, everything's cool. We got fresh towels. And he goes, are you hungry? And I go, I could eat. And he goes, great. Here's $1,000 dinner on me. Pick a restaurant. And I look at my buddy. I'm like, what a nice guy, And then the more you
think he's trying to fuck me.
Yeah, And then I'd play a little more. And then I'd be like, hey, let's go switch to a different building, right? Just check it out. We're tourists, right? Or whatever. Go to another building. They go, hey, are you the guy staying at Venetian? And I go, oh, yeah, I am. Funny you know that. And they go, yeah, I know what room you're in. It looks like this or like this. And I go, yeah, great room. And he goes, it's not that great. Let me show you what we got. And I go, okay, And he shows me this crazier room. And I go, whoa, this is sweet, but I don't want to spend the money. I'm comfortable over there. And he goes, I got you. Don't worry about it. And I go, all right, great. I'll move my stuff. Then we go to another building or the next time we come to Vegas, and they keep doing this and they start outbidding each other without me realizing. It took me a long time to realize until it finally got to such an extent that I'm earning the value of a 200 passenger jet and I'm earning these 10,000 square foot villas with 2 indoor pools and I'm earning helicopter rides around the Grand Canyon and I'm earning a Maybach and a Rolls Royce and all these things and all these casinos are competing against each other. And once I hit the upper level, the highest level, I now know what to ask for because I've now acquired everything from a particular building. So I'll call another casino and I'll be like, hey man, I have a Maybach and a Rolls Royce. What do you got? And they go, we can match you. Or then they start coming up with crazy ideas. They go, oh, what if we did this for you? One casino offered me a dancing monkey that also served champagne because they knew I like to throw parties. They go, we can have this monkey performing and it can serve champagne to your guests at the party.
Hey, I don't know who you guys are. And I'm sure this is getting into you guys are passing this around with each other. But if you got the dancing monkey with the champagne, bro, I know you have an arena. I will perform at your arena for free. For the dancing monkey with the champagne.
They're going to hear this.
I want that. I want a dancing monkey with champagne. Yeah. I want to wake up in the morning with a monkey at the foot of my bed with a bottle of fucking Ace of Spades going, and I'm like, yeah, let's get after it.
Yeah, so that's how crazy it get for them to compete for my business. By the way, what they do for the dancing monkey, there's 2 parts. The first is I didn't accept that offer. I was throwing a party, and at my parties, there's a lot of nudity, And nudity leads a lot to sexual activity.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of narcotics, stuff like this. And we just thought with all the
Someone's gonna fuck the
public
monkey
figure-
along at AIDS.
No, we just
Someone's gonna fuck this goddamn monkey.
we just thought, imagine that someone's trying to film a clip of a monkey and in the back is like a boxing world champion naked or something like that. Like we just figured something's going to go wrong and somebody famous is going to get blamed for animal cruelty or something. We go, there's only a liability. We don't need a monkey. You know?
I won't fuck the monkey, I promise.
So I said no to the monkey. But what they do for the monkey and for drugs, by the way, they do the same thing. A casino employee can't come up to you and be like, hey, how much drugs do you want? I got you. They can't do that, right? It's too much of a liability. So they have these independent people walking around that are off the record affiliated, and they come up to you and they go, hey, this is, and they're in like street clothes usually. This is who I am. Here's my card. Sometimes there's drugs connected to it. Like here's like a bag of blow and my business card. They go, anything you need, call me. And I did one time, and it was a woman, and that's the woman who inevitably offered me the dancing monkey that also serves champagne.
I got the drugs hookup. I never use them. I always get you always get drug hookups as a comic. Everyone wants to give you drugs. I'm like, that's not me, man. But I want that monkey.
Go. Let me know if you get the monkey.
If I get the monkey, everyone's gonna know if I get the fucking monkey.
I don't want to be
You
held
don't think
liable.
that's going into my fucking Instagram?
I don't want to be held
I
liable.
got the fucking monkey.
Yeah. I don't want to be held liable for potential threats from PETA and animal cruelty. So if I'm not held liable, I will definitely engage.
I'm cool with PETA. I'm cool with PETA.
You know what's been coming on my Instagram feed a lot?
What?
It's so interesting. So I have a really gnarly Instagram feed.
I would pay money for you to pass out in my hotel room and me to scroll your Instagram feed.
Yeah. Bro, I have, what I think it is I get the videos that do get deleted before they get deleted.
Oh.
I get murder. I get suicide.
I got into that algorithm for a second.
Yeah.
And breastfeeding videos.
Okay. I have a lot of breastfeeding videos.
I got a lot of them.
I'm not saying this applies to you.
Yeah.
I know you're a wholesome family man.
Yeah.
For me, the reason I think breastfeeding videos come up is because I double tap a lot of pictures of girls with their tits, like very
I don't double
provocatively.
tap the girls' pictures with their tits. But man, that roast beef sandwich video, did you ever see that one? Girl's got her cell phone. She was like, I don't know about you. I just love a good roast beef sandwich. And then she drops the phone to her pussy and then picks it up and goes, oops.
Yeah, right.
I got those for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got into that algorithm. I got into breastfeeding algorithm. I had to get out of the breastfeeding.
I don't like the breastfeeding ones. Very weird.
Yeah, they're a little aggressive. There was one that really creeped me out. The dude's like, kid's like 9, and he's breastfeeding on a boat, and he winks at the camera like, you know what we're doing. And I was like, all right, I'm out.
It's weird for me because not only is there an infant involved, but it's these women who are like, I want to show my tits to the world. The only way to do it is to use this child.
No. So that's not why they do it. You know why they're doing it?
Why?
They're doing it to destigmatize breastfeeding.
Okay.
There's like there's a whole generation of women who feel like there's been a stigma about breastfeeding in public, and they want to be able to breastfeed in public because it's natural.
Who is stopping these women?
No one should stop them. They're gangsters.
Yeah.
Guys,
As a matter
free
of
the
fact,
nipple.
I think women wear tops too often. You might even consider me a feminist.
I would thought you were going to say a presidential candidate. Yeah, there's okay, let's get out of this area and let's get back into gambling. Yeah, I agree. There's a girl that does survival videos where I go, you don't need a bra. Like you can do this without a bra, and I think you get more views.
Yeah.
So when do you start? When do you switch over and you go, I'm getting the system, and I'm figuring this out?
So my Las Vegas gambling career, the one that's been made public on like the internet and stuff, right? So let's use that as the whole relevancy of the story.
Okay.
So I started day one. I'm literally a tourist that's trying to escape COVID in LA and have fun, meet people in Vegas. And I'm a degenerate gambler. And I'm winning more than I'm losing by a long shot, but it's not like huge money, you know? Five figures a week, like nothing worth becoming famous over, right? So in year one, that's what that looked like. In year two, me and that same buddy, I go, what do you think would happen if we bought in bigger? Like, I think the actual conversation was, what would happen if we added a 0 to the buy-in, right? And the concept was, we're already winning. The chips are units. They just have a different color. It's only money when you're buying in and cashing out. When you're playing, it's units. If I bet 2 chips, I bet 2 chips, whether they're black, purple, or yellow. It's either 100, 500, or 1,000, but it's still 2 chips. So we're like, what happens if we add a 0? So now instead of buying in for 20,000 on the low end, I'm buying in for 100 grand, right? What ended up happening was my cash outs had a 0. I'm winning at the same rate, but now our cash outs are 6 figures. And this is happening for the first half of the second year. We're in the same kind of mindset as the first year, but we're just playing bigger, right? And we're getting bigger things, bigger jets, bigger villas, bigger whatever, right? Roughly halfway through that second year, we started looking at each other like, yo, bro, we are making money, like real money, and enough money that we really should pay attention. He quit his job, he quit everything, and we're living in these villas, full-time gambling almost every day. And we're like, yeah, let's pay attention. And we start dissecting like a brain surgeon almost, every detail of everything we're doing when we're playing. So like if I would make a bet and I would lose, we'd like make note of it or whatever it was and talk about it. Like, hey, we lost that bet. What did I bet? Okay, this is what I bet. Why did I think that would have been the right bet to make at that time? I go, well, these are all the thoughts I had that made me decide that was the right time to make that bet and that decision. Okay, so we know those things are wrong. Okay, no problem. Let's put a pin in that. I make another bet. I win. Okay, stop. Let's look at all the thoughts that led to my decision on why I thought that bet would help me win. Okay, so now we know that's right. And we did this over a large scale.
You're creating your own book.
Yeah.
The word you get at a blackjack table always is the book says ...
Mm-hmm.
But you're creating your own book, and that is what is beautiful about Dana White Gambling is he has his own book. Taylor Lewan has his own book.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do things that are against the system, but upon doing them enough, you do pop big sometimes.
Right, and we're doing this over a pretty large sample size. We start creating our own book. Yeah, exactly. So like, okay, so now we have an idea what's happening here, right? So we start playing. And I would say at best, we made it a fair game because all the casino always has a house edge, right?
Yeah.
So they're always a favorite. What we started doing was decreasing the house edge by it wasn't like a thought, like, let's decrease the house edge. It wasn't like that. It was like, hey, I lost this hand. Why did I make that bet? It's like same in poker. You lost with 7 deuce. Okay, I lost. Let's take a step back. Why did I lose? Well, the guy bet really big pre-flop. I raised him. He re-raised me. I called. The flop was all big cards. I bet again. I have 7 high. I'm playing the board. He put me all in and I called. So, I mean, that's an obvious one, right?
Yeah.
You're like, well, it's clearly that he had big cards pre-flop, whether it's just ace king or king queen suited or pocket pair, and I'm sitting with 7 deuce. He goes, that makes sense. I'm not going to make that wrong decision anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I won a different hand. I went in with aces. Well, why did you win? So you start looking like that. So we start doing that. So at best, we're probably decreasing the house edge, and it's a fair game now, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing that. And I was always like a little bit of an AP, like an advantage player, like whatever. But it really was not really so relevant. Again, I never really anticipated being a lifetime winner in gambling. So as we're doing that, we're decreasing the house edge. It's a fair game. So now we're playing. And then all of a sudden, it's like one of the things that we knew was always and consistently a right decision was all of a sudden wrong. We're like, whoa, that was like blatantly wrong. We're like, oh, maybe it was bad luck. But then it would happen like over a series of sessions at one particular hotel, in one particular game, at one particular table that we, like, superstition type, like, oh, we went real big at this table. We're going to keep playing here. So we go, how can this that we knew was always right and never even in question all of a sudden be wrong this often? That looks suspicious. Well, let's take a look at it. Okay, we take a look too. It doesn't make sense for this to be wrong. It's like so simple. It's so obvious. It was never in question. How is this wrong? Not sure. Let's scoot around that. Okay, we'll figure that one out later. Now, another one that was never in question is now always wrong. What was happening was they started doing things behind the scenes to create a new and unspoken edge against us. I use the word cheating. Cheating is possibly too broad of an actual word to describe what's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
But there are certain points where they're clear as day, by definition, cheating. But they were doing things to make our game unfavorable for us and more favorable for them when they saw us making it a fair game to begin with. So while we thought like this table at this game with this dealer was lucky and keep playing it, it gave them enough time to study our patterns and understand what decisions we were going to make and then put something into effect that would affect our decisions or the result of us making the same decision that's been working.
Yeah.
And when we started to understand that, I'm like, wait a second, they're cheating us. They're con men. I go, okay, what else are they conning? And then it was like, phew, they could be conning everything. And once we were like that, we were like, whoa. We're like, none of these guys in suits are our friends. They're not giving us the private jet because they like us and they want us comfortable. They're not giving us the villas for free because it's convenient for us. And then we start looking at everything. And that's when we start to uncover all the cheating that all these casinos were doing. And it's on a one-on-one basis. They have like a blanket cheat. They have a typical house edge that everybody knows about.
Yeah.
No problem. A lot of casinos, they go, we want more. Okay. Especially, by the way, this is some free game right here. A new casino will ramp up their cheating more than an old casino because they need to recoup on their losses now, especially the casinos that opened during COVID. Because after they sat on all this debt, like I don't know if you know, particularly there's one, I'm not going to name it, but there's one that sat looking for a buyer for years. Nobody bought it. Somebody finally came in and bought it during COVID, and COVID was supposed to end in Vegas on a particular date. Just before that date, they pushed back another 9 months. So now somebody came in and bought the most expensive casino ever built that was sitting in years of debt, not generating a single dollar. And then for an extra 9 months had to accrue more debt without turning a dollar. So the day they can turn a dollar, you don't think they're desperate to make back every penny that they lost that they didn't anticipate? So they ramped up all their cheating more. And you can always look at casinos in that kind of fashion, by the way. So now we're discovering all this other things they're doing to add false edges and edges that are not described in the book and on the cards and in the rules and stuff like this. And then we're like, these guys are con men. And the thing is that I came from a life of like a checkered life also. Like, so me and my buddy both did, by the way, and we both seen all these cons. We seen the same version of what these guys in suits were doing to rich guys gambling drunk or whatever. That was happening on the streets during those years of that phase where I was like a bad kid. I seen, just because one guy's wearing a suit and the other guy has chains and a face tattoo, their behavior and motive was the exact same. It was both to take advantage of this guy over here. So I already grew up for so many years of like premium growth and maturity in my life. Like when I was homeless and I lived in Europe, right? Like I seen the cons. Like I was on the street. Like I seen it. I was on the street here too, you know? So I'm watching these guys in suits do the same thing. And we're like, what are we, idiots? We go, how do we not see this? Now we see this. So now we became privy to all this stuff. And our new job became, how do we make the game fair? Because on a fair game, we could win. So how do we discover the game is fair? We have to constantly be looking for how they're cheating and adjusting their cheating and et cetera.
And is this primarily in blackjack?
All games.
So
they cheat in all games. But
I have to only because someone's probably saying bullshit, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I have to explain the time I got cheated.
Okay.
This I've talked about this on Two Bears. We were on Cowhead's cruise. I'm gonna call the guy because it's people would go bullshit. So we're playing craps, which I presume has to be somewhat of a fair game because it's dice. We start rolling hot, real fucking hot. I'm trying to see if we start rolling real hot, and we're winning big, not like hundreds of dollars, you know. And I go to roll, and the dealer takes the stick as I go to roll, and he hits my hand. And I said, "What the fuck are you doing?" Okay. And I go, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he goes, No. I said, no roll. And I go, "Hold on, I was on a fucking, the energy's there. I'm on a heater."
Yeah.
And he goes, No roll. Next roll, fucking 7 out. And we lost our shit. And we were like, hold on, you just fucked with our momentum. Now, granted, it is rolling dice, but I do believe in the cosmos and the planets aligning and the energy of the boat and you ready for this?
Yeah.
Buddy, I'm talking with a guy named Mikki, who's a professional gambler, who's been outlawed at a bunch of casinos. And I'm telling him about the time we got fucked in the ass.
And you got beat with a stick.
I got hit with the stick. Pete, how big was our fuck? We were on a fucking burner, weren't we?
We were on an absolute burner. We were there it was so bad that all the pictures from the cruise ship, they were coming out of a cup that we didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
And they were all up to the table. And we had all this money on the table. And Bert was on just a heater. I had 15 or 17 crabs. And
you're cutting out. You're cutting out.
Yep, hold on. Let me get to it.
This is, and by the way, yeah, I hear you.
Okay, so Bert's on a roll, 16, 17 rolls in a row. And I don't know anybody that's ever thrown craps in their life that doesn't pick the dice up off the table to throw them. Everybody does. And it's impossible not to. How do you throw dice if you don't pick them up? And certainly Bert picks up the dice, goes to throw it. And this guy goes, no roll. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about, no roll? He's like, no. I'm like, we're like, what? What's going on? And he goes, you can't pick up the dice. And he smacked Bert's hand with the stick.
Yep.
I said, what the fuck is going on? I said, what do you mean? And they're like, no play. I'm like, what do you mean no play? We're throwing dice. What are you talking about? There's fucking 10 grand on the table. And sure enough, then they cleared it up. Then they made Bert re-roll, and he 7'd out.
Yep. And then I'm going to tell the rest of the story. Thank you for validating my experience. I love you. I miss you.
The rest of I miss you more, but the rest of it's better. So make sure you show them the video and show them.
Oh, yeah, there's a video. Thank you. I love you, buddy.
All right, buddy.
Bye. See ya. We made all the pit bosses come out, and we made that guy apologize to us and say that he was cheating. We made him say it.
Really? I love that.
We made him come out and he wouldn't do it. And we were like, nope, we're grown men here. We're men. And you're going to admit what you did. And you're going to say you're sorry that you cheated. And we videotaped the whole fucking thing.
I love that.
We sat back and we were like, we said, hold on. We need everyone to admit he cheated. We want everyone to say it. And then we need him to come out. Say he's sorry that he cheated. That he's a cheater. We need him to say he's a cheater.
I love that.
We were pretty wasted. But we were like, you don't fuck. It's not your money. What the fuck?
Well, so there is pressure they get. Listen to this, bro. So I by the way, every claim I've ever made ever on a podcast or whatever is all verified with videos or firsthand witnesses.
Yeah.
For the record, right? I'll tell you 2 different videos I have that are so similar to what you're saying. One is a roulette dealer. The guy's probably retired now. He's a very old man. He's been a dealer for 50 years or something. And I have a video. I'm going to tell you right now. When I tell you how easy it is to cheat in roulette, you're going to be like, that's obvious. How did I not realize?
Yeah.
And I just recently started telling this one publicly. So I don't want to give away whatever.
Yeah.
So listen to this. Imagine you're Steph Curry, right? What do you do every day, all day of your life?
I look at myself naked in the mirror.
Just right here.
shoot threes.
Yeah,
shoot threes. Shoot threes. Shoot threes.
Just shoot threes. Just shoot threes. You're right here.
Sorry, Steph.
Yeah. Just here, all day, every day for years. Right here.
Yeah.
Right here. Right here. Imagine you're a roulette dealer for 50 years. What do you do all day, every day? Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here.
Yeah.
Imagine that so they do the wheel then the ball. Wheel then ball. Wheel then ball. Right here. Same shot. Same shot. Wheel then ball. They do the wheel, and right before they do the ball, you go, look at me. And he looks at you when he releases the ball. That's like Steph Curry's right here, and you go, look at me. And he goes, what? Completely disregard and disrupt his accuracy of the shot.
Yeah.
So I have a roulette dealer, a video, where he talks about, he goes, yeah, I do that. He goes, I've been a roulette dealer for 50 years. You think if I don't play, it's like if I play basketball every day for 50 years, you don't think I make the same shot?
Yeah.
He goes, I can put the ball with certainty within a 3-number range.
They can.
Yeah.
I know they can.
Of course. It's so like.
That motherfucker, I bet 11 every time, and it's always right around 11, and I feel like he's fucking with me. I go, buddy, get, and I feel like, sometimes I feel like, because I fucking love gambling. I do love gambling. I have my favorite gambling story. I put $100 on 11 one time during COVID. Masks on, dealers got the mask. Just me and her. Casinos are kind of quiet. It's just me and her, Asian lady, and she spins it. I have $100 on 11 and probably like $400 on black. Just 2 bets. I'm cashed out. This is my last roll, and hits 11. And I'll never forget her eyes. She saw it hit 11 and her eyes over the mask went. And it was just me and her. And I went, and we celebrated quietly together. I gave her $500.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And I gave her $500. And then she put it in the I was like, oh, I want you to have it.
They can't.
Yeah,
they can't.
I know.
You know what you can do though, is you can give them gifts. So I learned this. I lived in Biloxi. I lived in the casinos there in 2017. And I'd like my last bet or something like that, and on blackjack, and just ran it up and I was so distraught, you know what it is, that dirty, it's like, you don't want to talk, it's quiet. And I placed my last bet. I'm like, all right, babe. I was with my girls. All right, babe, time to go back upstairs. Like, we're done here. And just ran it up. And I was like, I need to give you money. And he goes, we split it. And I was like, there has to be a way around it. And the pit boss was like, you can get him a gift. So I went to every gas station around that area and I bought Visa gift cards. And I came back and I handed him the gift card.
That's way more work than I would be willing to do.
But I was so...
I just split it.
But I was ecstatic. I really was like grateful. I was so like depressed. And then...
So then let's talk about the games.
Okay.
So when you, like, if you're listening to this, if there's most of my fans that are listening will hit a casino once or twice a year.
It's probably twice too many, but yeah.
Probably. It's gambling. There needs to be, for the average person, not you, not Dana, not Taylor, not Will, not all these fucking Steve will do it. Like all these people, for the average person, $500 is a fun way to like have fun, get loose, and possibly win yourself a nice couple dinners or something. Sure. What's the game you go to for that person?
Pag out poker.
Fucking Jesus Christ. Okay. What's pag out poker?
You don't even know?
No.
It'll change your life if you're a gambler.
Okay.
You'll never win, but you also never lose.
Oh.
It's also the only game that the dealer has to always tell you the best option for you. And you get to make your decision after the dealer does. You get dealt 7 cards and the dealer gets 7 cards. Well, there's 2 versions. There's a face up and a non-face up.
Okay.
Go play the face up version.
Okay. 7 cards, 7 cards.
Yeah, so you and the dealer get 7 cards. The dealer goes face up, opens up all 7 cards, and has to make a 2-card poker hand and a 5-card poker hand. After their hands are set, you then look at your cards and you go, how do I make a 2-card and a 5-card where my 2 beats her 2 and my 5 beat her 5? And if you can't, all you say is, how do I guarantee to win one of them and I'm willing to lose the other? Because if you win one, lose one, it's a push. There's no money exchange.
Oh.
So you get to see the dealer set hand before you even look at your cards. You go, the dealer put 4s and 2 pair on the 5-card, put 4s and deuces with whatever kicker and king high on top. And you're looking, you go, I got 2 pair, but I got 3s and 2s. So I can't, my 2 pair doesn't beat her 2 pair. And I only have a queen high, they have a king high. So I'm going to lose both. You go, wait a second. That's why I pair of 2s up top. Your 2s beat her king high and your 3s lose to her 2 pair. But who cares? You won 1, you lost 1. Push.
Pago poker, guys.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
Okay. What table do you stay away from where you go, this is not for you?
3-card poker.
3-card poker.
Yeah.
Okay. That's easy for me to stay away from.
Yeah.
Okay. What is, break down Dana White's blackjack mentality.
Okay. I'll preface with, I love and respect his play.
I love and respect his play. Even if I went in with $50,000 and I lost every single cent of it, but I listened to him, for me, that's worth that moment of seeing the way he operates.
Exactly. I respect it. It is not my style. It's actually the polar opposite.
Really?
Yeah. So I described the difference of the way he and I play like this. Watching him play is like watching the art of war. Watching me play is like watching Bob Ross paint a tree. Mine is very slow and boring and just like, it looks so simple. You like when you watch me play, you're like, oh, it's obvious. Now that it's like once you see it happen, you're like, oh, that was obvious, right?
Yeah.
The way he plays like aggressive and savage, and something else he does that I can't stand. He doesn't hold chips. Every bet he'll take a marker for. So let's pretend he has $1 million on the books. Let's pretend, right? A line of credit of $1 million. And his max bet at Red Rock is $35K a hand for blackjack. He'll say, give me 35. They take out laminates, 10, 10, 10, and 5, and then the little plastics. Then they take the chips and they hand it to him. He places the bet. If he loses, he goes, give me another 35. Another 10, 10, 10, 5, another 35, places the bet. Loses. Give me another 35. Okay, 10, 10, 10, 5, gives him the chips, another bet. Then he wins one. Then he goes, here's your 35 back, best the other 30. So then they take down the laminates, put the chips back, and he only has 35K left, places the bet, loses. He goes, give me another 35. And in my head, I've said it to him. I go, Dana, just keep the chips.
Yeah.
We got to do all this extra back and forth to keep the chips. I personally, I couldn't deal with that. It's like this weird, it slows down the game, and it's this weird, multi-layered nonsense that could be avoided. For me, I like all the chips. So if I usually buy in for $3 million and I take $1 million out.
Okay. Keep going.
So I have $3 million on the books. When I first sit down, I flat bet at $250,000 a hand, right? So the first thing I do is I say, give me $1 million. So they give me $1 million. They give me a laminate for $1 million. I don't know if I can't remember because they don't let me do it anymore. It's either $1 million laminate or be like 10, 100K laminates, whatever it is. They put the laminates out one time. They count out $1 million in chips. They slide it over to me. I now have $1 million in chips right in my hand. I have 4 bets there, but I know what I have. I bet 250. They give, they can do all 25Ks or the casinos also have 100K chips, but then you have to have 2 different piles of chips. The 25K chips to get the 50,000 and the 100Ks to get the 200, right? So you can bet it either way. I usually keep the 25s because I know exactly what handful is 250. I don't even have to count my chips. Yeah. I know based on touch, that's 250,000. I take the chips, place the bet. If I win or I lose, I still have the chips. And so my boy, the one we were talking about earlier, he sits next to me and he's the one counting my chips. I never count whether I'm up or I'm down or I'm even. He's doing that for me. And we have a conversation before we get there. What's my stop loss? What's my stop win? So he knows when I hit a certain number up or down, we're gone. We're done with the session. We're done with that moment. We're taking a break or we're going back to LA or whatever it is. So for me, it's like boom, 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 like just right here. I'm right. Dana's like freaking like, it's like chaotic. And he loves having all the celebrities around. He loves the chaos. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to be there. It's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of. And it's chaotic. For me, I like a private room. I like nobody to be there. I don't want nobody talking to me. I don't want nobody looking at me. Yeah. Leave me alone. I'm right here. I am right here the whole time. So for me, I describe it as like Bob Ross painting a tree and him as like the art of war.
And Dana White will, I really don't know enough about it, but I know like the basics. But like Dana White will, if he sees they have like 14 and he's got 6, he'll double down and just go 1 card or something like that. I don't know
if he's doubling a 14 against a 6.
But it's like so there's something like that, right?
He will occasionally, if he's running bad. I've been with him one time. I watched this happen a lot. I showed up, he's losing $1 million. And what he started doing was me, him, and Aiden Ross on Aiden Ross's live stream. So you could actually go back and see him do this. He started purposely breaking all the rules because he's like, when I play by the rules, I'm not winning a single hand. He goes, everything's going wrong. So he started, staying on a 12 against the 10. He started hitting on a 14 against a 6, just to switch things up.
Yeah.
And it happened. It was actually like over $1 million won back. I forget what it was when we walked away. I think when I walked away, it was like, I want to say 1,080,000, and I think he handed 80,000 to Aiden, who lost. So he like gave Aiden the 80K he lost back, basically helped Aiden break even. And when I walked away, he had gotten his $1 million back.
I got into a deep dive on the Dana and the Nelk Boy energy gambling, and just especially when they'd get on a tear and someone would be down $1 million, and I was that for me is like, it's not only too rich for my blood, but it's actually not. And so that makes it real for me. So I go like, I could bet $1 million, but man, it would hurt. It would fucking hurt.
But it's all, well, yes, it takes a special kind of person.
So bad to not buy a house.
Yeah, but yes. But it also takes a special type of person, but it's also a different mindset. Like, you're a comedian, right?
Yeah.
You're not a gambler. So when you gamble, it's entertainment. You're not going to a casino like, this is my full-time job. This is your full-time job right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Dana's a little bit different, but like with me, for example, I don't have comedy to fall back on. I don't have my own podcast. I don't have this. I'm a gambler. So for me, it's like, you make an investment. So you bought this house, right? And you built it out. It's so beautiful, this house.
I guess that seems like a gamble to somebody.
Yeah. Somebody who's not a comedian, never done a podcast, and doesn't have however many million you got on Instagram would say, you want me to spend X amount of millions on this house and not even live in it?
Yeah, to do a podcast.
Yeah, and not even
kind of crazy.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, my podcast is gambling. So it's like that.
So then, sorry.
Do your thing.
Taking my nicotine out.
Zin it up.
I have very simple blackjack questions.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Go ahead.
14 I fucking hate. 12 I fucking hate.
Sure.
Anytime the dealers got below 17, you stay. Unless you have 10 or something.
If you have
12 and the dealer's got 16
or higher and the dealer has less than a 7, 6 or lower, I stand.
Okay.
Unless there's a split option.
I love splitting.
Yeah.
I love
that's
splitting.
where the money gets made.
I love double down.
Yeah,
I love all of it.
That's where the money's made. Splits and doubles. Yeah.
That's my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
I love when they give me the card face down. I love that energy.
Really?
I love it.
I'm a face up guy.
Really?
Because I'm a grown man and I made a decision. Let me face my consequence.
I'm a child who doesn't make any decisions.
I go double down. Did I do it or not?
This is how much of a child I was. Secret time, I'm sure you're not supposed to share these type of, but we went to, when saw you in Vegas, Tom made me take out a $50,000 marker. I didn't know how long it would take. I thought I just got the money. They're like, no, we got to check with your bank.
You signed up for it. You applied for it.
Like,
it's a whole thing.
Motherfucker.
You know they're looking in your bank statements, just so you know. That's what you agreed to. So they're looking at where you're spending money, not just how much money is in there.
Jesus Christ.
They're in your bank account.
Well, they paid me to do their arena, so I think we're solid. But so blackjack's a really fun game. Really fun game to have. Now,
easy to learn, easy to understand, fun game.
Did you know that nearly 75% of people have subscriptions they've forgotten about? Before I started using Rocket Money, I literally thought I maybe had 10 subscriptions. I absolutely could not believe it when they showed me I was paying for over 30 subscriptions each month. And some of these were so expensive. Streaming services, fitness apps, delivery services. It was never ending. Thanks to Rocket Money, I'm no longer wasting money on the ones I forgot about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. That is so important. You are pissing away money that you don't even know that you're pissing away because one time you got drunk and you wanted to buy an app that made it look like you had abs. And then And I had 4 of those apps. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving their members up to $740 a year when you're using all of the app's features. I'm telling you right now, do not piss away your money. I am that guy. And you are too. You forget that you sign up for these. I can see all my subscriptions in one place. And if I see something I don't want, Rocket Money can help me cancel it within just a few taps. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Bertcast. That's rocketmoney.com/Bertcast. That's rocketmoney.com/Bertcast. The gangster in the casino has got to be Baccarat.
Sure. I think that's the sexiest of the games.
Because they use a paddle.
No.
Right? Don't they use a paddle to like flip the card or something?
No,
I've never played Baccarat.
Okay, no.
Okay.
So when you play Baccarat, which is always the most amount of money wagered in a casino is always on Baccarat.
Okay.
Always.
Because Asians love Baccarat. Asians are, look, if we're celebrating culture, fucking Asians gamble like fucking Italian women make meatballs. They do it so fucking good.
You know what I think the most gangster person in a casino is?
Who?
It's not the uber wealthy Asian guy gambling in a private room.
It's his daughter.
Or his wife.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, my God.
I know it. I've been with them.
Oh, my God. Sitting there like $500,000, all in 1K chips, probably no idea what's happening, with her girlfriend, sipping tea, just betting $50K a hand, not even sure what's going on. The husband literally says, baby, I need you to leave me alone. Here's $500,000. Please don't bother me. And goes and sits with his business partner's wife or daughter also, and the 2 Asian women are sitting there. They got $1 million between the 2 of them, don't know what's happening, just sipping tea and betting.
That is rarefied air.
Yeah.
That's the fucking air I want to breathe.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a fucking... So break down, for the average person, what is Baccarat?
Okay, so Baccarat is similar to blackjack in the sense of there's 2 hands and you have to add the digits together. So
I'm out. I'm already out. Like I'm the guy who gets who when they start putting down more than 3 cards, I am already not doing the math.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I won. And they're like, that's 22. I go, fuck, I lost.
So Baccarat is the best odds you'll get in a casino.
Yeah. Virtual
50-50. It's not actually 50-50, but it's virtually 50-50. For conversational reasons, consider it 50-50, right?
Okay.
Makes it easier. So you don't get to make any decisions other than where to put your money. And you put your money before any part of the game happens. So you make a decision. You either bet blue or you bet red. The titles are player and banker. I don't like saying that to a non-gambler because they think banker means the house. It doesn't mean the house. It just means blue or red. Bet 1, bet 2. You can only bet 1. You pick one. You go, okay, I'm going to bet blue, which is player, right? You bet the money. 2 cards come out for player, 2 cards come out for bank. You flip them over and you add the digits. When you add the digits, you single digit column only, meaning the very first number. So if you have a 20, you have a 0. You have a 21, you have a 1. You have a 13, you have a 3. You have 18, you have an 8, which means the highest you can get is 19, which is a 9. Because after 19 comes 20, which is 0. It resets. So when you add the digits to the 2 cards, using single digit only, closest to 9 wins. Except the only variation is there are preset rules. You don't get to decide. It's whatever those 2 cards and those 2 cards are. And they'll give you a rule card that just explains it, but it's not up to the players or the house. There's preset rules that says when one or both may take a 3rd card. It's the same theory though. Whether a 3rd card comes or not, you add the 3 together, single digit, closest to 9 wins. That's the game.
Really?
Yeah.
And so then can you break down the Phil Ivey thing for me?
Yeah, of course.
Because when I play Baccarat, I like to bring a Cantonese woman who's been in prison for 5 years over a gambling debt. Uh-huh. I like to make sure the dealer's Cantonese. I like one hand. I don't like them to change the cards, and I like them shuffled a certain way. Mm-hmm. That's what Phil did.
Yeah. So
because that's all you need to know when you go to play Baccarat. Bring a Cantonese woman. Make sure the dealer's Cantonese so that they can talk to each other. And one hand, they can't switch their cards. Because Phil did what you were talking about, where he said, "I just simply found an edge to gamble."
Sure.
And the courts voted against him.
It's so weird, the vote, right? So
break down the Phil Ivey thing.
Okay. So what he did, it has multiple names, but the most common is card edging, also known as card sorting, whatever. What it is, I don't know if you have a playing card in here.
I don't. I'm that bad.
Okay, no problem. So let's say that my phone is the backside of a card, right? Yeah. So the top here would say like ace of spade, right? Mm-hmm. So on these cards at the card manufacturing plants, what they're doing is they print out a whole sheet of them, right? So it'd be like a million ace of spades on one giant piece of paper. And then a thing comes and slices all the cards and makes it into the singular playing card. They usually have designs on the back, right? Like whatever brand it is will put their branding on it.
Yeah.
So when the knife comes down and cuts the card, most of us would never recognize this. It's like a very special talent. Would recognize slight imperfections in the design on the label on the top side of the card. So if you knew good enough,
is that your chick?
Not.
Oh.
I don't know. It's probably here. I don't know. Yeah, she's down there. I saw a text. So if you can study and you understood that slight imperfection, you would know what the backside of every ace of spade looked like. And you can do that for the ace of club and the ace of heart and the ace of diamond. You can do that for two of spade, two of club, two of heart, two of diamond. You can do it for all 52 cards in a deck. So you would technically always know while the card was face down what card you're looking at. It's almost like you have x-ray vision, but you're memorizing and studying these slight imperfections in the design on the top side of the card. So what Phil did was he knew that. And the woman he chose, a woman named Kelly Sun, who's infamously known to also be able to do this. So he said to, I'm only going to say what's in the court documents, right?
Okay.
It was Borgata and Crockford's, which is in London, the one that's in London.
I'll be hitting that up when I go to London.
Yeah.
Just to say I've been there.
Just exactly.
Just get a t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. And he said to them, he goes, hey, I'm going to wire X amount of dollars. It was a lot.
It was like $9 million. Or it was like a couple $1 million. Yeah.
It was millions. And he goes, I'm going to wire this money to you. I'm going to play Baccarat, but I have some requests due to superstition. They go, sure. Asians are huge in superstition. Gamblers are huge in superstition. Baccarat is an Asian gambling game, the most superstitious of all the games in a casino, right? So they go, sure, buddy, whatever you want, weirdo. That's how they're taking it. And he goes, I want you to use this particular brand of card. They go, sure, why not?
Okay.
He goes, I want a dealer that only speaks, I forget if she speaks Mandarin or is it Cantonese? He goes, I want a dealer that only speaks Cantonese. He goes, I'm superstitious. Sure, we have plenty of dealers that speak Cantonese only.
That's real because a dealer will come in sometimes and I'll be like, oh, I don't like this guy's juju. I'm out. Yeah,
you can even ask for a change. And if you're a big player, they'll accommodate. So he goes, I want a dealer that only speaks Cantonese. They go, sure, weirdo, whatever you want, Cantonese dealer. He goes, but because I don't speak Cantonese, I need a translator that speaks English and Cantonese. I'm going to bring my translator. They go, whatever you want, buddy. Well, the translator he chose was Kelly Sun, the one who's infamously known to also know how to card sort. So now there's 2 card sorters on a team standing next to each other, right? He also said, I want a particular shuffle machine and I want a particular shoe, which is the plastic part that holds the cards. And he goes, and when you deal the cards, I don't want to make my bet till after all 4 cards are out and they're face down, right? Goes, whatever you want, buddy. And they agreed to all his requests.
So they're getting face cards down. He's got a dealer who can edge the cards.
Well, his translator can. It was like a coup, right? He didn't actually care about the Cantonese dealer. He needed an excuse to get the Cantonese speaking card sorter in there. So they agreed to all his requests. And they're thinking, what weird superstitions, but we've seen weirder, whatever.
So he brought her saying, this is my
translator because I don't speak Cantonese, but I need a Cantonese only speaking dealer for my superstition. So it's an excuse to get her in the room with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so she's saying to him, basically, kids, cards down.
They're both card sorting. They study. They're partners. They study together. But he's saying, in case I miss it, you'll catch it. In case you miss it, I'll catch it. So they're doubling. It's like 2 brains better than 1. So he plays at Borgata, and he wins. He wins. It was either 4 or 7 million. He won from the Borgata, and they pay him. Nobody knows the wiser. The guy has weird superstitions. He won. He's a gambler. Great. He then goes over to Crockford's in London. Does the same gamut, same setup. Crockford's agrees to all the same requests. Does it? Him and Kelly do it again. And he wins. It was a total of 11 million. So I forget which one was 4 and which was 7. He wins there. And this is a typical thing. This is what happened to him. This is a typical thing that happens in casinos when you win big. He wins and he goes, I want my money. And they go, do you mind if we send you a wire? And he goes, sure. Big mistake. That's why I take cash. But people always ask me, why do you take cash? It's so risky. It's so dangerous. People could rob you. It's so weird to lug around. Like, why would you take cash? Like, what are you, an idiot? Like, but this is why, by the way. Because I tried a wire one time and something similar happened. And I also tried to check and they tried to rob me. They tried to rob me 3 times in one session. They only paid me to check. They tried to short me $1 million on the check and I had to get my lawyer involved. Anyway, but if you get paid cash, there's no questions. If you want to question me, pay me now. Take me to court later. I'm going to use the money you gave me to fight you in court. No problem. Oh. So what he did with Crockford's was they said, can we send you a wire? He goes, yeah, no problem. Well, like a couple weeks goes by. He goes, where's my wire? And they go, oh, working on it, whatever. More time goes by working on it. What they were doing was they were looking for any excuse to say that was not fair play. We don't want to pay you. That's exactly what ended up happening. So they go, we found foul play. We're not paying you. And he goes, but I already won. You already owe me the money. And they go, come here and get it. So he takes them to court. When he takes them to court, it becomes like public information that something possibly foul was happening when he was playing Baccarat. So Borgata catches wind. They go, what exactly is going on? And they go, that's what he did over here. But Borgata already paid him. So while he's suing Crockford's trying to get the money back, Borgata sues him trying to get, he's suing Crockford's to get the money. Borgata starts suing him to get the money back. He loses in court. He doesn't get paid from Crockford's, has to pay Borgata back. But what's so interesting is if you get caught cheating in a casino, you go to state prison for 5 years for your first offense. He never got indicted, never got arrested, never was incarcerated. So he's not cheating. So if he's not cheating, why didn't he get paid?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, you'd think that would be the best way to gamble is to find out a way to win.
You would think.
Luckily, they have morons like me who just come in and drop $1,000 who go, I don't get it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And and then they ended up trying to take his assets from Vegas, right?
I'm not sure if I don't know about it. Maybe I don't know. Yeah.
So when I got to get you out of here because I'm at 2 hours and I could talk to you for another 2 hours.
I feel like we didn't even hit the good stuff.
We haven't.
I think we've just been chilling.
There's so much there. You have. What's crazy is you have so many great stories that are all online. I implore everyone to give you a follow and follow your content. Anytime you're on a podcast, check it out. You literally have a million great stories. The one I'm always curious about, and this will end on this, but I'm always curious, like all these great poker players, all these great gamblers.
Sure.
I say Dan Bilzerian. I don't know anything about Dan Bilzerian much, but I use his name and I know that's probably people question is his winnings what he really won, or like you can't disqualify Phil Ivey's worth like $40 million. You are worth exponential millions of dollars. All the great gamblers that we know all have a solid money. How even when you talk about Stu Unger, he had times where he had millions of dollars. As a person who has money, I'm very attached to that money. How attached are you to your net worth? And I say this to all gamblers and speak collectively to you versus them, but like say someone has $40 million, is worth $40 million, which I think is what Phil Ivey's worth.
Okay.
Is that not, is it real? But is it like, do you believe you have that money, or are you always going, that money is not the reason I'm here?
Such a weird question of sorts. Like I have a two-parted answer personally.
Okay.
The reason is when I was finally banned of like the last big casinos in Vegas, I took all of my money and I locked it up into, the easiest way to say is like an investment portfolio. I locked it up and I said, guys, I will flip a coin for all the money in the world, given the opportunity. Keep this away from me, Yeah. And that money is going to grow forever, and it's very slow and it's very boring, but it's safe from me. So I know that there's some amount of money out there that exists that will always be mine and always get bigger and bigger and bigger. I look at the money that I have as like fun money. I go, if I literally drained my bank account and lit it on fire, as long as I had fun, it was worth it. Before I gave all the real money and locked it up, right? I remember like no matter how many millions and millions or tens, whatever it was that I would look at my bank or would deposit or even withdraw, I'd pick up a cashier's check for $3 million and bring it to the casino. I remember thinking like it wasn't real. I remember there was like years where I was like, this money's not real. And there was times like, they'd be like, hey, do you want to go buy a new car? Right? Do you want to go buy a car? And I'd be like, no, I don't want to spend the money. It's like $250,000. I don't want to spend the money. And then I'm playing $250,000 per hand. And it was like two unrelated monies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just never really felt real, no matter how many digits I saw in the bank account.
Have you ever had a morning where you had a bad loss and you woke up really sad?
Yes.
What's that feel like? How much?
I don't remember the dollar amount, but I remember my buddy left me a note. And I have a photo of this note in my phone. We were living in a villa. It was on the top floor of one of the hotels. It had like this awesome balcony with a jacuzzi in it. It was like 9 bedrooms and it was like just me and him, right? And it was so cool and it was one of my favorite places. And we were there for a while. And I remember I went on a terrible downswing for a couple of days. It was like You want me to make up an answer that's probably reasonable?
Sure.
Probably I'd lost like 6 million, right? And I just remember like I'm losing and I'm like, bro, like it's not making sense. And I was like, am I a loser? Like, am I an idiot? Like, how am I not getting I'm not making any of the right guesses, you know? And I think I had like $1.5 million left in chips and some like various like 25Ks, 5Ks, you know, whatever. But I remember I had, I think it was $1.5 million in their grade chips, which are the 100Ks. So it's a stack like this and a stack like this and then various ones. And I woke up and in my master bedroom, there was a desk with a MacBook. And I go and I look and I go, my million is stacked like this, the $500,000's like this, the other chips are scattered and there's a note. And he goes, you've been through worse weather. Keep your head on. Good luck in the tournament. You got this, my brother. And there was a tournament downstairs that I was invited to. It was like, I got a free roll, free entry. I remember like, that was like the last of my chips. Like I remember like that was a lot, you know, it was call it $7.5 million. I'd have been in the hole. And I remember seeing it. And I just was like, it can't get much worse. I gotta lock in. And it's going to be what it's going to be. And I had this, and also this calmness came over me and I go, it is going to be what it's going to be. I'm either going to win or I'm going to lose. And I went down and I won and I ended up winning like $9 million or something.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about drinking sometimes. Like, it's funny. It's like, I've had moments where you wake up and you're like, God damn, I got to change my life. And then all of a sudden you need that one buddy that's like, hey, you had already had the stroke. Let's fucking go hit the bar. And you're like, oh yeah. He's like, dude, the pool is fucking awesome right now. Yeah. And you're like, fuck it. Yeah. It's such a, I've been toying with this concept as a joke, but like there's something beautiful to having an addiction and knowing what it is. Like there is something really precious to it of like Zins are a perfect or like a perfect example, or vaping. Like it's fun to go, it's not killing me yet. Like it's, it's at least it's not pedophilia. Like, no,
sure.
Someone's listening going, that's my addiction. God damn it. Hey,
sure. Last
thing. Yeah. So what's the rub on slot machines where like there's dudes that wait outside the slot machines waiting for the number, the big number?
Yeah, slot hustlers.
What is that?
I'll give you like my short version. My short take is I believe they exist for sure because I know a bunch of these guys that for sure don't know each other. And I've asked them all, how do you do it? And they all have the exact same story. And they drive nice cars and they don't have a job. So like it makes sense. You know, I'm not a slot hustler. I'm not a slot player. I'm not into it.
It's not called loose slots. It's called like
progressive
slots. Yeah. And that's when the amount of money that goes into the slot machines is at a certain,
it's greater than the jackpot.
It's greater than the And so then they go, because my thing is, oh yes. My thing is, I got one more question.
I'm here. I don't care.
I do, I'm into raffles.
Okay.
So
real gambler. Yeah, real degenerate.
I love 50-50 raffles. I love if I go to a stadium and there's a 50-50 raffle, I put in ridiculous money to win the 50-50 raffle. Mm-hmm. I won $29,000 in Philadelphia at a hockey game because I just kept looking at the number going, fucking put another 1,000 in, put another 2,000 in. And we just jacked it up. And my investment, I think, was $4,000. And off of the $4,000, I won $29,000. And I'm telling you, the next day I got DMs from every fucking Delco boy going, dude, this is a good hustle. This is a good hustle. These 50-50 raffles are fucking worth it. But I love raffles. And so if that's what progressive slots are, that starts to make sense to me.
It's a similar concept.
Yeah. Okay. Bruno Mars.
Bro,
have you met him?
I didn't meet him, no. But I know the story. I was there when it happened. I had told the story about Bruno Mars like 2 years ago, and nobody like said nothing about it. And then all of a sudden now it's viral.
Yeah.
Yes, it happened. I know there's like MGM just made a statement that it's not true. I'm gonna tell you from the mouth of Babe, it happened. I was present during the circumstances. He lost 53 million or 52 million, accurate. And then he had to sign a deal to them. So it's a marker. He goes, I can't pay you guys. I can't pay you back this marker. They go, we got to figure it out. So what he did was he signed a deal. He would do all their shows for them so they can get their money back. So if you just look, he's their poster child. He's
my daughters went to the show. It's one of the most amazing shows they've ever seen in their entire life. He's one of the most amazing performers in the entire world, top to bottom. From what I understand, and this is what my daughter and my wife said, my wife and my daughter said, was that it was 100% improv, free form, and just the most musically masterpiece So whatever, I mean,
well, it costed MGM $52 million, so it better be a good show.
I heard. I didn't hear anything from MGM. I love MGM. You guys are my fucking gangsters.
They
but
can
like,
suck my dick.
But what was his game? Baccarat?
I think it was blackjack, but don't actually quote me because I really don't know for sure. But bro, the executives told me like outright, like, well, we used to they used to come to we used to get down. I hooked up with some of the female one. Like I know some things that they probably weren't supposed to tell me. Bro, he lost the money. And they had made a deal with him where he would do all the shows to pay back the money. And that's why he's their poster child. And that's like, he's doing all these shows to try to pay off this debt.
So guys, if you're listening to this, go see Bruno Mars at the MGM.
Yeah, support him.
And fucking help him
help
get
him.
back even.
Yeah, help him get even.
He's fucking awesome. It's worth the money for the show. Yeah. Sell out his shows. Put him in the bigger arena. Yeah. And have him do a nightly show.
Yeah.
I just would love at the end of his show for them to walk up with a stack of chips and just watch him be like, that's it. Good night.
Fun fact. I wanted to squeeze this in.
Please.
Did you know that I wanted to be a stand-up comic my whole life?
No.
So my very early interviews, if you ever watched.
Talker.
Thank you. Probably because I'm from New York, in New York area.
Well, and Jewish people created comedy, so I think that,
natural, you know. When my very early interviews, I used to end the interview with like, so how do you feel about being on social media? And I go, it's super lame. Like this is dumb. Like I think it's so tacky. I hate the gambling, the money, the girls. I think it's like the worst content in the world. Like rots your brain. Yeah. I think it's stupid. Everybody asks me the same questions all the time. I'm like how many times are you going to see me post a photo of me holding $1 million in cash? Yeah. The $1 million is the same size now as it was a year ago. No, no matter where the money came, whatever. Yeah. I go, I really just want to be funny on the internet. And I used to end like all my early interviews used to say that all the time. And you've been a pretty long time follower of mine.
Yeah.
I would like to think that I might have the best content on the internet. I also like to think that my humor is highly underrated because I swear to God, I laugh at my own content when I post.
Me too.
You think my stuff's good?
No, I was talking about me. I laugh at my content.
Yeah, but
I like watching my shit better than anyone else's.
But we all know your stuff's good.
Yeah.
That's why you're one of the top comedians.
I love your stuff. I love your stuff. I get a kick out of. I get a kick out of you. I get a kick out of people that provide sparkle to life. I'm not a negative dude, and I like when joy is represented. I like when fun is represented. You know, there's an old Pinocchio got caught hanging with the donkey boys, and the boys that turned to donkey when the sun went down. And I used to love. I remember the first time I heard that, we were going into a strip club when I was 17 years old, and they were like, "This is where the donkey boys hung out." And I love the donkey boys. Like, it's just a fun, let's smoke cigars. Let's drink a little whiskey. Let's gamble. Let's go to a strip club. I love that energy in measured forms for me. But when I see people who run with the donkey boys and lead the donkey boys and like gambling, that's why I love Dana and Taylor. I mean, I love Taylor and Dana for obviously more. They've created such fucking amazing lives. Mm-hmm. For everyone. Dana brings joy to everyone. Every once a week, Dana provides you one fucking moment you could sit down, zap out from all your worries, and get lost in a fucking combat sport. That is such a fucking, when you look about the things people provide to the world. Dana White, Taylor played fucking 13 years in the NFL. Every Sunday he gave you a treat. And then watching Taylor live a life that's so fucking fun, going to Vegas. It's just fun. And it's what I love about you is there's a lot of fun in you. And I root for you. It's the big thing I'm having right now is like, who do you root for? And it's like when you get banned from all the casinos, you're like, yeah. I can follow a bunch of guys that bet 10 cents for every follower they have on one hand of blackjack every day. I get so excited for those guys when they're always at the top of my feed. And I'm like, oh, Tim, how are we doing today, buddy? I fucking...
You think my stuff's funny?
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you mean it or you're just saying it because I'm asking?
No. I find it engaging. There's two things. I was talking, great conversation I had the other day. Likability is the hardest of the vapors to catch. And not everyone has it. And some people create content going against likability, and some people create content within the riptide of likability. And your likability is undeniable. It's contagious, but it isn't in the same riptide as, say, mine. It's a different energy. It's a different vibe. You look different than I do. You don't have the same, but you're still adjacent to me getting pulled out to the ocean of likability. And so I fuck with you.
You know, I think that when I first started like social media, it was all content that already existed because I never took videos and stuff like before I had social media. I was anti-social media like my whole life.
Yeah.
And so I never took videos and stuff. I was always like, I'd rather live life now than later through a lens, you know? So when I first started posting, it was like random stuff that I used to just have for whatever reason. And it would all go viral. So I was like, oh, okay, like this is fun. This is cool. It's like an instant shot of like whatever that emotion is, you know, like when you go viral and stuff like that. Like, oh, let me post more of that stuff. So I kept gambling and posting that kind of stuff. And I go, it's kind of lame. I just want to make jokes. You know, I just want to like post memes.
Have you done stand-up?
I've never done stand-up, no. When I was a kid,
I feel the energy of gambling. Get on stage. That fucking energy when you walk on stage, gambling's pretty fun, but walking out into an arena of people. I was just saying this to someone yesterday. Who was I talking to? No. It was last night. We were talking about out of all the things you get in life, when you walk out on stage in like the MGM Grand Garden Arena in the round, that energy that they give you back is adjacent to having pocket rockets and you're fucking, and the flops king fucking 2. And you're like, this is going to be nice. This is going to be fun. I think it would be a waste if you didn't try it once. There's too many opportunities for you not to try it.
Well, I don't know how to get myself to this stage. I'd have to go up the ranks of being a comedian.
Where are you living right now?
I live here. Yeah, I live right up the street.
There's a million open mics. There's a million rooms where you could go and post very simply online. I will be at the Haha tonight at 10 o'clock trying out my stand-up for the first time. I would argue that Jack Jr. would probably give you a cut of the door because you bring people in, but you got to try it. But you got to try it. Here's the thing. You don't want to try it, if we're using a gambling term, you don't want to try it with all the chips behind you. Try it with just $100 in front of you. Try it for real when no one knows who you are, and then see if you like it. Because what'll happen sometimes is people will be famous and try stand up, and they will get the same energy they get because they're famous. They just get it publicly, and it's really enticing. But the most enticing part is to be funny when no one knows who the fuck you are. And when you get that, that's the addiction. That's the real addiction.
And that's my fear. When I started trying to be funny on the internet, it all like flopped. And it's because I think everybody took my content so intensely. Like all my stuff seems serious. Like the money, I always seem angry on the internet. Every time I do like a POV, like selfie story, I'm always like low key, like yelling kind of, you know? And so like when I started putting jokes in there, people didn't know how to respond. It kind of flopped. So what I did was I'd go like a few months of zero social media posting. And then I'd come out the gate and post some absolutely outrageous trolling. And the trolling is what sparked people to be like, is this a joke or is this not a joke? And the more I did it, the more like, that's a joke. And then I started to get the response on the comedy.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like I post videos. Well, I post sex tapes all the time on Instagram.
Man, I wish I could.
Like, what a troll, man.
Oh.
I literally will post a video that will say, I'll type something up and I'll say, I'm tired of these women using me for my dick. I'm a person too. The next one that I sleep with, you better be ready because we're getting married. I'm tired of feeling used. And then an hour later, I'll post a compilation of a sex tape that I had that night. Like if that's not funny, then I clearly don't know what comedy is.
Comedy's subjective. That's all I will tell. I will tell you 2 things in closing. I will be Googling your sex tapes.
I put them on my story all the time.
and you will get a ton of followers off this fucking interview. There are a fucking ton. Trolling is trolling, but in essence, some of the best comedy you do is when you troll a stranger and you say the wildest thing and they don't know it's a joke.
Exactly.
It's the funniest. I mean, like my best friend, we used to attack each other online in a troll sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes our fans would troll in the comments. And it was so much the ether of comedy is when someone didn't get the troll and would get upset. And then you'd watch the person who posted the troll go, oh, I think we got one on the hook. And even if it was detrimental to my career, I couldn't help but read those comments and watch it whittle down to someone not understanding it was a joke and someone clearly being in on the joke and getting it, making it worse and worse and worse. And I mean, there were times I'd call Tom, I go, I'd screen grab the comments and be like, I remember one it was posted and then there were 17 replies and I opened, and then screen grabbed in Pages all the replies. And me and Tom were laughing hysterically, just going like, this is insane.
Well, some people are dumb, and I love exploiting their stupidity for my humor.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Well,
like, how dumb can some people be?
I think some...
I know.
Wait, put me in the group. I'm fucking a moron. I thought they used a paddle to play Baccarat. I don't know what game I've been watching. But yeah, yeah. I mean, one of my best friends is a professional troll.
Yeah, I love that.
A professional troll. He guy's gotten in a lot of trouble for it, but a lot of trouble, like death threats. But there were times that you were just giggling at just how outraged people got.
Yeah.
And before it got really serious, I remember just being like, he'd post wild shit. And then you'd be like, holy fuck. And you'd see people losing their minds. And then he did one that went sideways.
I posted one time. I'm in the back of my Maybach, right? And I have my driver's driving me. I'm in the back seat reclined. And I take like a 3-second video where I pan from like in front of me and my legs to the passenger seat next to me in the back, and it's empty. And I go, does anybody want to get their back blown out in the back of a Maybach? Well, I used to hook up with one of the girls that lived in my building, right? So I posted it. I called her, hey, come to the garage real quick. She comes to the garage. She gets in. I say, hey, take all your clothes off. I got to take a video. She goes, all right. Takes all her clothes off.
Move. I'm going to fucking get an apartment in Vegas.
No, here in LA.
Oh.
My penthouse over here. So I post the first video of just me. My driver's pulling into my garage. And goes, anyone want to get their back blown out in the back of a Maybach? I have her get in the car. She takes her clothes off. I take a video of her like this. And I pan the exact same video, but in reverse. But now she's naked in the car.
Yeah.
And I post them back to back. If that's not hilarious in context, like...
I have so many questions. All right, we got to wrap this up. I want to find out where you live I want to see if immediately in this story, I felt like she was Filipino.
It's so interesting that you would say that. I think she's half Filipino and half Korean.
Oh, maybe I saw this video.
I put it on my story.
I might have seen this video.
She was butt naked and she had her legs on my lap. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
I think I saw the video.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right, I've gotten outed. All right. Buddy, open invite. I'd love to have you come do the cooking show.
Yeah, I'd love to.
You're fucking fascinating. Yeah. And everyone find you Dirty Goth Boy on Instagram, on TikTok, on everything. And just thank you for doing this, man.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you having me. It's really cool. And it's so cool to see your wife and your daughters downstairs because, I'm a huge consumer of your content. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully they didn't listen to this interview. I'm going to die if Isla's sitting down there and she's like, so what's back blown out mean? I'm like, don't worry, it's not going to happen to you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I just want to leave on this one, talking about all the drugs and the gambling, stuff like this. I started a foundation about 1.5 years ago, maybe close to 2 years now. It's called Shaken Hearts. It's in my Instagram bio. Totally for free. Anybody who struggles with gambling addiction, drug addiction, alcoholism, or mental health like depression or anxiety, send a DM to Shaken Hearts at Instagram, and totally for free, we'll find you the best treatment for you.
That's a perfect way to end this.
Oh.
We should probably do an intro saying, hey, just so you know, we're going to talk about wild shit. This is your out if you're dealing with this, because it is real for a lot of people.
It is. Yeah.
It is very real. And gambling is out of all the ones, gambling's one that is tough for, especially I've seen dudes lose money and you're just like, oh, fuck. And that fucking look. Ugh.
Do you gamble online?
No.
Why not? Okay.
I will. I've always been one of those guys that like, I used to do poker online, but I didn't really care.
Yeah.
And I also lose interest. I would play backgammon. I play backgammon online a lot. I started playing chess, but I'm really bad. I'm gonna fucking be Googling rummy, gin rummy.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a fun fucking game.
There's a World Series too. It's a lot of fun.
And all the best poker players are in it.
Yeah, it's cool.
They're fucking Dude, this has been a fascinating interview. Thank you for doing this.
For sure. I'm gonna take you up. I'll do the other stuff.
Done.
Yeah.
Done. You got everyone's number. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.